00.9 FM Suni. Na ene Wednesday, July 10, 2024. And time just about gone 12 now. We are looking at say 12 minutes, 30 minutes past 1. Na ene ukuada na kutansapo sumini yewumi neda etosudu afi empinu eduonu enan. Mami se abo don kwa permiti eduonu miti dumienu edeko dumiensa entem. Me manti dwumade na yede bremo. Me manti dwumade a yede ebremo. Me amidi dwumade ho chia me ebreme ADAKABRI mudu oshioma. Ai na senior co-creator right in front of me here. Your Fasima Jerry, or say Ajimai, Ewo, Saso, and na Ohima, Equifrie, and so Atnasin. Na Nina Mono, Yade Asida at the Amapa, Penuko Jodamiado, on a production Nina Sinina Swo, na Penuko Jodamiado production, no Sin National, Major Sajima, therefore Yada, and na War Buano, no Hima Quifrie, so eta to assist him Rantiquano, Emino. Na technical production, a dear, Abna, Frema, Abankro, one Pescoba. Nana yaw safo one so ehwe say all social media handles and also so no omatoto womode mayene a ba bia no ubehia yen na comment so ade beba no yagebre na yatumi akenkan engineering group no atu agbo worker otiako na najare na naboaje na ada sankroma yesanmra ne se sempro na fe facilities group no so no ye de aba big solo and a dada and a Godfrey do not friend you brana and yaw and Sami Mapuna and so na DJ Bosco and a face so Mills Sanran is a tete na yahusi bibia ekose kama ene ede amayen di ene na 1 year eboa amadwumadi atimi atumpon kunlugana no na kuya almost saying
you offer a dead in check a 7 my tear for you now for so my idea.
Yame Adam.
Okay,
I am Yabeka.
With the Yami, where she I okay, until we Kunlungana. Or some fa and Yama, a Bakubaku and 9 rule 9 and from Remo. Na a Araba Bazin, a Medra Chesse, a CC or bar, Emma or bar, baby, and no baby, a kama. Se we oba na se ubu nsa na se nsa na ubu no oyawo ebi ewom na afe nso moja ni eni no ayetum emu nso ayedu na nkabone esan ewom a wobepe araba baze na wanom bi ede amame oba ode pua ana candidacies ana white na hawagin me pa cha ope araba baze nanom famame oba oni wukunu ahia wo mpamu a untimi nya anigye ana ahoden who to me, son, when be say lack of orgasm. Me pacho. I drink it. I drink, you know. Sir. Yeah. I don't money I drink offer. Say, me, who do you know? So, wouldn't be a wobu to my dear bills, sir. I drink it. Them auntie me, who to me, son, no. But where they be an idea, so offer. A beer. Aye, and a lot of the time, because I'm my dear, almost your more dainty. I do honor once a dime, Jane, say, be cry home. And he do not want to miss her no way no for and your time on the bear my watch you know she no for them did you want nuko shiding oh said ya dear be binti oh offer I did yet away because you of a miss Muguso casa say unya hode na say we ya intimi who to me sano Emma when in jiwo fear me pacho what did not pay our babas and famame na say I wore and I will pay our me pacho babas and bit to me abuao Omenses no meka se say I ade abosumi bia no e wo so wotimi hu animu say bosumu we aba eba nso a obiara ne de normally no aba bebre 7 days obi de 5 days obi de 4 days a eye normal so we hu sisan e bia wo mu a hu se nye sei na eti a me pa cho wo bepe aba bazin e de ama me na o de ne de chese kojo to emma kra be bosumi nsia afe ba akọ enfie mienu o de ne ma ye kra also Dr. Bianca Cancho when your menopause me pacho pe aba bazen nanom fama me kununga limited almost na we do a friend honchon capsules na se we be ma na wo prostate problems bia me pacho honchon capsules no ebe boawo ama na siesie jun so mu how bia wo bia no honchon capsules be hwe na we siesie e de ama kama Mr. Kill Mr. Q ye memedra e say ono so say oba na no ma ba bazen na ne hu sane no na so be man wa pe Mr. Q ni bi na wano na so libido no abasoro kama se na be ya mumienu mu hia na se mo bibia kama na se osu de ye wakọ ebia na obe ya no medro ma ye fili ya na ho esa no 1 minute ni kra enru na ho esa no me pa acho bo modern na pe Mr. Q na no na fama me King tablet what father na this King tablet King tablet se oye obema ana oba na se mojamro so hypertension ena how adwunya me pa acho obepe King tablet na wanom e de ama me no ya mabobosui eye araba bazin honchon capsules Mr. Q ene King tablet opedudu etu a obetimi akọ eye kunlungana omo East Legon na Champon Junction ana obetimi afra homachofo ya me ba bebobwe 0244139176 0244139176 ana 0204 139176 0204139176 ana 0274139176 na sa wonam leading pharmacies herbal any chemical shops bi e wo Ghana ubenya nnuro nyina bi ato
ni nyina ne ensampa ubetie e de FRINIT 100.9 FM na ma wadaroma awie sede da ho no ekwan yi a ye e de afri eye pokuase interchange ye de to aso atwam wo Festus e de akofise e de akọ amasaman e de akọ eye Toman Saipeman eye Dobro e de beko atwemwana na akoduru new afutu na contractor wote so no na basanka afi na contractor na bewie adwuma no na contractor na adwuma no sign na AC ekro na eye ekwan ba ku bi wo Ghana ha ema sabiaku yedi eye aban panimfo atam kese yedi omatam wo yetirimu yedi omatam wo trotro mu yedi omatam wo miamia bebie na ye saa kwan no a saa kwan no nso so na contractor wote so no da bia so no yeni no akasa contractor dey sa agro bi na wodi nti eye engineer ba akon oye road engineer Mahama na yakwa komantam waba be do studio ha sei ye ne ba be din komo na no kwasi ada na ebise de mekan no biti anadwo no nkono akwan ni siye ama siye ama de chi no nso na hona hunu te nipa agitwi na namfom na ye de ka be siye kire ni anante abefroka ba akọ de akọ na ehun nsensem no ye hye ase se ye de eka enti engineer Mahama ewa ha ade chenju ada so a ese driver for ne sheda we come you na say at the same spot no and obi antime mfa wo mo nchen na ade chen so a come you na ba akwa se na ba akoso abutu na chese no so ma sense kwa no on approach from Ayepokuase Fise to Amasaman and no so no eye asemfoforo ade enti road engineer but aye no an say obeto no boase ene edi nkomo akyerekyere nsem no mu na whether we are justified in our comments see ebedi eye Ghana mpanifo no ebedi o matem ana ebejai na ye de ahwe no enti wohwe senka eye boss a efiri esrem omu nyina emu senka ombetwam wa Amasaman before 6 a.m. na omotimi ababesi nepa no enne you can imagine boss a ofiri boku boss no be duro enkran anopa nontu enefa
Abranka by 6 a.m. no we twam wo ha Sanyanka by 7:30
yeah by 6 a.m. we twam Amasaman by 6:45 na chesenka waduru ba bia wo ba and 10:30 and obeduru ye and driver for kwa no musu
amafo be park omuka o bo park na we twam no akwa petrol tro bi ehuresi no na ekọ no 40 day old bus asatenura ne hwanwan bearing ni nyina boboy maka ne kai 40 day akola kwa nka onuru ba bia
aka no edi 40 days
I say
chese 2024 I say yes lord your friend oh boy phaser enura ne bearings say pops no boboy can edi 40 days pe and a tow truck and a between I mean the call you can imagine
I can't imagine what yeah I manager say engineer wa ha I also train say mu kire ye pa because ye nte ye ho ase na say e bia o so timi ndi ye ko ba bi fufa na or direct it to another person yes and kwatwe nipa no so ba na ya kwatwe ne di nkomo ni na say still bia me still maintain me ho asesa ye be san na kana say bia obi o ha o say san kwatwe na because I say making sure say ya share solve the problem because enye kra
Engineer Abdullah Mahama kulafia
I love you.
Engineer na what is saying na me say wo be dey say dey be say knock utiri so denka wo be share hard hat
Ejuma na egum say my background to me share hard hat
ai abakra
was site dey ameshe
was site abeshe akra nyame krom na ai answer na be share say be kan yasem kra no stealing on highways, stealing on construction yards, stealing on contractor site. What you saying?
Mami fa akwanya saminchia o tifu we and the US nimbe we stealing the corner koso. In fact, last 2 months kwade na yenya upgraded stealing on the road where say won say Burkina Faso forecast ni be SSC so it becomes the spotlight for the robbery to happen in the night. It be baku say around the Ofanko to railway crossing or and I don't know there was a black Camry about 2 a.m. Ebe arrest ebe tight drive civilians no omunsa and then they went straight to the foreign truck to attack the foreign truck. And they made away with whatever they wanted to do. So it's happening on the road.
The security on site, you know. Obakana say unidentified vehicle to me by home and nipa is mono. It me apprehend security on site. Chechele womosa to womochi.
Sure.
Hey.
I report to my Senior Panko police. So I'm on investigation. And a lot of them, there are some of which are internal. Ebiwana workers now more from more identify we will say the iron rods in Ugua. And Ajona Omaya Hojumana Makusa. So that's the problem we're having.
Engineer, and the Basaya remedy be all.
Say Emrana and Shemin even without security and you'll be an ultimate to ensure being so for the security in there they go with their few equipment or more torchlight, or more maybe that heavy bus no more kitano. Whatever they happens, no more report to my police force. So the police have actually intensified their monitoring of the road from Ofankoa, Kwakudu, Sawam Dobro Junction Honomo. So that's the update that we are getting from the police patrol more kind also.
Yeah. Now, road construction. You know say if we put say they call and some junction. Book mu adwuma specification anything.
All right, from Ofanko, Edekwa Kudun Sound, the baby was like 17 kilometers. 5 lane in, 5 lane out. But once Ufi Ofanko, 4 lane, that is 2 express and 2 service lane. So it will continue with that 2 express road. I could do John Terry School. Right after John Terry, we are meeting the Pokwasi existing interchange. It dovetails and then merges with the Pokwasi interchange. Just after the Pokwasi interchange, there's going to be a toll plaza, which is a toll booth. But I know 7 lane in, 7 lane out, because of the experience of the traffic that Etenya or toll sessions. The towing trucks have actually been expanded beyond the normal 5 lane to 7 lane. Into the toll area, it will be captured and it will take care of all the traffic. Then from there you move towards Amasaman. So after the toll, then you will decide whether you're going to be in the express road or you're going to be in the service lane. Right from there to Amasaman. Amasaman, you have 3 tier Amasaman. 1, 2, 3. And to Amasaman, then you move towards Sapeman, Pobiman area, and you have a flyover, just like what we have around mile 7. Same flyover with the runabout underneath. From there, you move towards Media, Media Kotoku Junction is almost more the same to flyover. No? Then the last one, the Dobro Total Filling Station Junction, under vehicular underpass. I know say Tantra Hill there now. So you drive underneath, and those who want to exit to Sound Town, they move onto the service lane, and then they go. Right from there, and then we'll dovetail into the existing bypass to a 3-lane from the 5-lane. Usha, the traffic projections for the next 25 years, it's about 350 XL. That's about the vehicle that will actually commute on this road. And most of the traffic.
350 per what?
350 million.
350 million vehicles?
Yes.
In a given 1 year?
No, that's the projection for the 5 years.
For the 5-year period?
The 20-year period.
And for the 20-year period?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you know XLs, accumulated volume of traffic in a faster. So that is what is used to determine the thickness of the asphalt pavement, the FMB structural number. So if you anticipate in the next 5 years, 25 years or 20 years, and this is the expected load of traffic on the road, with a 6% annual growth. Now the 6% annual growth is actually coming from a data that is always available with the Ghana Highways Authority. And then they factor environmental, economic conditions, behavioral pattern of the road to be able to come out with this 6% growth, annual growth from what you have from the beginning. So your base data and then a cumulative. So if I'm adding 6% this year, the next year I'll bring that 6% to the base and then add the 6% to it. So it's cumulative for the next 20 years of the road.
Okay. Timelines, you're saying?
The timelines, actually, this month should have been the time for the project to be completed. That's next July ending. Unfortunately, we have some of the challenges, which is the court cases. Our court over 101 individuals.
101 individuals.
Yeah. But no more than that. That's where the number has got into. I mean, just about a week or two ago, the Sound session, the lawyers from the Ghana Authority have done a human job. Yeah, they are quite shit from Sound all the way to like Hebron, all the cases there.
So there's a possibility of frivolous and vexatious, cases hamper a human
massive. And I will say once then do a crime, say footbridges. I say there's no way you can be able to handle. You can't go ahead and demolish a structure at our court because you should be a law-abiding citizen of the land. You can't do that. So these are the issues and the compensations. OSHA in 2003 to 2005, the ex-Royal Kufuor's administration almost passed an executive instrument for the right of way, which is 90 meters. So from the center of the drain, 45 meters to the left, 45 meters to the right. Any house that is actually within that stretch must be assessed and duly compensated. That was done. Unfortunately, some of the people on the corridor first abandoned assassin. So
you compensate
notwithstanding. And some of them sold the lands to other innocent developers along the corridor. They couldn't defend their cases, so they were just thrown away. But few as once our office they have lawyers and more how you adjourn cases, how you make sure say you can drag a case until somebody becomes so frustrated now in Panay they will feel that maybe just come to a conclusion. I don't want to continue with this case. But for as long as the road is supposed to serve the whole entirety of the country, we'll go to the final arbitration on the road to get every house which is within the right of way to be demolished for the road to be smoothly constructed for commuters and residents around the corridor of the project. Then the last, one of the few ones, the relocation of Ghana water lines and the relocation of the ECG lines. Now the Ghana water lines, there's no road that you can do. I kind of check a bra ensure that and as a pipe at that kind. When the Ghana Water decide to come and renovate or repair their pipes, let's say our coin man, don't make a coin. So we don't want that thing to happen again where a basic coin Ghana Water for a check and say they have to supply their customers with water. And you know, on both sides of the road, you know, there's a major 315 millimeter diameter pipe if in Sawam. Eba to Amasaman, Eba Bedu of Fanko, it terminates around mile 7. And left hand side, you know, from Dobru, it moves to the right and then comes all the way to Stadium Junction. So these are the few works that obviously quite actually because you know,
in effect you are saying say a legal wranglings, you know, and a kahon, but apart from the legal wranglings, there may be timelines, you know,
compensations, and then relocation of Ghana Water lines and ECG lines.
The relocation of utilities.
As for the Ghana,
and you originally, you know, a dear Ben timelines and then down commencement date, completion date.
Yeah, so also you have what we call the commencement and completion, like you rightly said. But in any construction of a road, particularly, there's always that room that is left for some of these uncertainties. Where more like this right now, Ushe Amasaman say a lot of the people there are having issues with the valuation of their houses. Claiming say Scana bind them on.
A year Jonko 4 pence to 2003 to 2005 and a year valuation, no.
Sure.
And yet 2 years kama ebi.
Sure.
And ebi GC council so and a year 11 years later, no. And other contested the valuation of the property.
No, Amasaman, they also Amasaman, no. Stadium Junction, no. There's a treaty.
Yeah.
So there are some freshly acquired facilities to be added to.
And they are no under this lot.
Yes. But those who are actually the 101 cases in the air, the old one.
And also Obi contested valuation.
Oh, yes.
Che Wajisicano 10 years.
No. They think that the road should not affect their properties. Meanwhile, they know, say they're actually within the right of way.
Or sit the and say na yanya public hearing.
They did it. That's it. So whoever sold the land for you, you should go back and ask the person, say, and you be a document when they say assassin because mostly who sit down or may always advise any entity say you actually have to go to the Ghana Highways Authority and ask for what we call access of the right of way, application for the right of way. Very, very important because if you are doing anything along the roadside now, you should know that you are actually off the reservation area.
I said, ultimately, it was a sasino plan, no, off any future road construction site.
Sure. And that is
people don't do that.
They don't do that. And somehow you have to blame the assemblies who issue. In Ghana, the only persons who can issue permits or demolish a structure is the assemblies.
The assembly and land use plan
at 2016.
It will know any say or the assassin be way. As no be asha. Is it the case in Grofon Concord permit in Intina? Yeah, Omunimana.
There are houses we have seen our countries. Media, I become as media issues. I think the issues now media is largely some of them are due to a lot of the houses sitting in the swampy area. You see at the Chemo, or more failure, be do
you see Afrom.
Almost see that also. It's right now we have about 2 culverts. We will say to me discharging the water.
And so.
So now my contractor be another storm drain about almost 700 to 800 meters backwards to around Sansam Junction, just because houses on the right hand side need Nara are blocking the discharge point of the storm drain. Into here, also Fiana towards Saoma. The mountains are actually located on the right hand side. So the volume of water that runs across Media and Hebron is very, very high. So ordinarily, once you have intercepted the water, you're able to discharge across under the road to the left hand side, and then they find its way through the Wager, this Desu Lake in Rubano. Then you connect all to Wager. But on the left-hand side, that's if you are Kumasi bound, all have been encroached. Me, how many, and not less than almost like 100 houses are sitting in swampy areas, obstructing the flow of water. That's why, as you see, and so because the contractor has not gotten to that stage yet, media in particular, a lot of the small cars cannot go in the water. Luckily for us, last week, I lifted, almost lifted media area where at least the situation is actually being highly minimized, where you won't get some of this PCU car, that's a passenger car unit cars, getting stuck because of more engines now. It might be submerged in the water bodies.
Nah, sir, what could see a dying essay afrom? I feel
from
and anka in suono, I was a train. Emma yɛde fa afro no mu na afiri hɔ no mo de akɔ nanso da na wasi wɔ hɔ nti no yɛntimi ma nsuo no ɛmɛfa hɔ ɛna contractor ɛyɛ ɛka foforɔ ɛna ɔda no asan sign akyi de free media de aba samsam okay ɛyɛ sika ne yɛbɔ kadeɛ na what about say baabi a wasi da na sie no a sɛ nsuo so da ne hoɔden na sɛ nsuo no etwi ba hɔ no mo a na yɛsan ba back to central government wɔ sɛ not more maybe being found.
In fact, last 2 weeks, many Chinese phone, we took a thorough walk through media area. That's if you are Accra bound, right hand side of the media Kotoku Junction. You're almost 250 meters to 300 meters. That's about 170 miles. Every house on the right hand side was obstructing the flow of water. So in this as a contractor, or mandatory discharge point now. Also maybe every house will be also house nature like if BH, if you may end up having a lot of zigzag storm drains. It's not pleasant for even the flow of water. And I think say now when we got there, you could see that a lot of the houses should not buy the window no level. You see that mold growth, that green, or down be so. I think they just behave like ostriches when we're in the dry season. They come and stay in their houses. And when we're in the wet season, then they raise their hands in despair, trying to say that government should come to their aid. Meanwhile, the bodies are stacked in the swampy areas. I think the assemblies, one day, one day we to start 3 assemblies on that road.
Clement Wilkinson and
the MC may not have a serious role to play in. Unless, of course, the engineers actually submitted proposal to the MCs on the corridor, and then they actually didn't go according to the advice or the proposal of the technical people. For instance, in Sawam Adreji Municipal Assembly, we have the Gan West and then the Gan North. So Pukwase, Ekwakodu, of Fanko de Babedu before Fise is under one, that's the Ganoff. Then from that place all the way towards Media is the Gan West, Amasama. Then from Media towards Insawam, the Insawam Adrejiri Municipal Assembly. And these engineers, I say one day, collectively, now they should be able to answer to us, why are they allowing houses to still be springing up like mushrooms in the swampy areas? Because the contract a coin. Now, because the first 5 years, there's no issue. Now, suddenly, after the next 6 years, 7 years, what I do say the road is pounding. Then you should know that there's something just within the environment, which is causing the backflow onto the suddenly, because it couldn't be say first 5 years there was a magic be the road was performing well. And then the water, there was no flood water.
Because it's a chronic pound was, you know saying.
No, impounding. That's like what you see around Taifa. Say, Osho Taifa, they call moves junction home now. So to say the kind no cars. So when the road was constructed, there was not like something like that. Something is happening within the periphery. Because
flow of water.
Flow of water. Because I don't see how those engineers I see at the Ghana highways and the consultants who actually designed the roads in Ghana. We have what we call the hydrological engineers. Maybe a friend of catchment. They look at the topography of the whole area, look at the low-lying areas of Kwansano. Then they anticipate a certain volume of water. Now, they don't just take that volume. They actually deal with hydro they deal with Meteorological Service Authority and get the peak of runoff in terms of precipitation of water. And then they even do a projection of the 25-year, 50-year worst design scenarios. We heard they see last year China say there was a flood in Beijing, massive flood, and that was recorded in 1824. So
that was the last time we see
that kind of massive flood. You know? So in our design like this, you anticipate that in the event of a severest 50-year design, that 50-year design is what you use for the design of the drain. So it cannot be say like it's functioning, even serviceability. Then suddenly after maybe 5th year, 6th year, then the road start to have a certain flood. Immediately I was saying there might be something maybe far away. Maybe it can be about 200 meters away. I started obstructing that maybe somebody has actually put a structure, a warehouse, a factory.
The way Chiremunu Korea say, a year of Franco, a year fencing, Taifa Junction, moose water of Franco, in so tar, na car intimate film on the expressway. No, what's the time a year crying? That's how I didn't know.
It was not like that, no.
Major recall, and I shall say, there may be something around.
I just imagine I could see that you were one.
And the Abbasanoa. Yani engineer Abdullah Muhammad, he's a road construction engineer. And a ye didn't come na a quania near free say a game changer on the Central Corridor route. N4, no N6 rather. Na free a year pokuase di kokosi atrebuana new afutu ni nyina no ewo akuapem saf municipality. Eni wa how ni atemdidi a ye di mpanefo no na ye dwendwene ho a wo chechire
Some Adreji municipality.
Yes, I was Adreji by
some Adreji municipality we start na no
and this be ano this
yani
Tanka ye come dem a na ombeye municipality a na nke the numbers no in a composite your friend saying place ba ko e wo ho e ho na numbers no dos near the holding atoso.
Okay,
it is so sure the year ashama baaye ema adenta baaye ko wie say ye ashama ne adenta na ye to mu nyina de free tema ho.
Okay,
right. And a bar say ye the identity ye the ashama din beto so. I move back that's identity near the to and as ashama din near the to. And a yen to qua say yampne. I mean fat back penny din ye then enter so. Into moon to quano. And at the time ye chain was as I ashama and funny dear. And your friend saying identa some funny dear. And the minimum a brass sambas sign ya. A fair dear ye ma quama a dim me no. That's
right. Okay.
Because you find a dean back pet. And the attention I am a dance and swim at municipality. But municipality no should be just about one a heap. As I said, you have South municipality or and some municipality.
You're right.
Neighbors, Nananu Adwajiri Mufanchemi. I said, Nananu free a year, a buakwa, Nananu free Kotoku, and Adwaji some yanka. Right. Enti ye did your uncle mono. Okay, a year factors no ama ekwan no ache. Emma yentimin complete no as scheduled no. One of them relocation of utilities. Air Ghana Water ni Electricity Company of Ghana. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, until say ufi of Ancona say o go towards Kumasi. Say on the right hand side no. Yeah, bridge in a half, especially the foot bridges, you know, 1.5 is because the relocation on the right hand side, it was actually the low voltage ones. There was no difficulty in doing that. And to contract on to mean train, you see, the least opportunity they try to start their construction. But if you are do the middle of the road, but unfortunately on the left hand side, you know, where we have the pylons, you know. That is where the challenges are. But fortunately, the last 3 weeks, Sundays, Biano, ECG4, if there's a very good weather, contractor no, power outage for the subcontractors, in this case, 2 subcontractors or more, to actually migrate the lines. Into last week, almost migrated footbridge number 3 and 5. Within the course of the next week, the contractor will be seen to be working on the other side of the footbridges. So the quantity, nobody can actually cross the road when the road is completed. That's why, in the wisdom of the engineers, they are providing 10 footbridges on the road. And it was done in consultation with the assemblies and then the major stakeholders, the assemblymen of every locality, and then the chiefs.
I just say, you do to so my assembly in an anom, any nipa, a war, a pomo. Because a dear na ye, na ye de avoid a year and somewhere a CC, a war end of the Liberation Road onto the Rollins Road from Legon Road, at a kwashi. Edeko Adenta,
sure. So
then yes, yeah.
And one thing that's what I said. There were a lot of knockdowns. I think 2020, 2014, until one day a lady, this young girl here, or West Africa. Thank you. I generated a lot of demonstration. Yeah, it had they didn't have any issue like that. Every location, and I will say more footbridge 1 or 2. No, we call them to the conference room, explain to them in graphic, and tell them say 3D. So where we think say here, but because of the topography of the area, it will be unsightly. It has a dangerous effect with the high pylons. Then the next option, so the immediate step away from the location, is actually addressed with the chiefs, the assemblymen. Then even the national coordinators and then the MCs themselves were actually active. So that's why we share from Ofankoro Cancer, the sighting of the footbridges has not actually raised any. Just that some of them they would like to okay, but we are working with the budget. But reasonably, there was even one on my share was a Sunday in their home. To actually explain to them why we have been moving one footbridge about 100 meters away. What we told them was that we share now because of the topography, there already enough kind of service lane, the throttle lane. It was about 4 meters higher than the existing main road. So if you're going to add that 7 meters now, aesthetically it will be unpleasant for people who are even crossing. So we are now
fear of height.
Yes.
So
you have to actually add it. So we actually moved about 100 meters, and then they understood exactly why the contractor ought to. When we say 100 meters walk a day, that's a Ghana for MP. People
still on say 10-foot bridges. Yeah, before the Traquano. Me will questions pay me, Nubia, at that, your friend saying, fridge ma, and no, a beba. Nah, I said, winning margin. Disability Act, no.
Yep.
Legislative instrument, no. Actually, specified period. Government buildings. I was that Dakura near sitting that anum. You better convert, ama etimi a conform with the Disability Act, Na way our footbridges here, at saying just about a ramp and a staircase.
Yes, so the staircase is for the able-bodied people like possibly you and I, and the ramp is for the physically challenged persons. Fortunately,
ramp will be gradient.
No, we didn't make fortunately, we are meeting the minimum requirements of the gradient for the road. We there were
first of all, who can visit the way nipa or pushing the shopping crowd bit me at the ramp.
We are watching with your eye now, but when you bring a survey machine to check, it's just like what we have around China Achimota Mall. A same replica.
Voice me low. Yeah, no, I can say, oh, yeah, Bema, engineer Bema, and I'm the Okuta soft tender voice.
This is my bread.
Raise your voice. Obey the size will sound very low. I'm only being for voice in home.
Yeah, so the minimum requirement, they have even come lower than that. There's no way the ramps there would not meet the standard. we actually you can say design was actually sent for review. So the consultant will review. They'll send it to the Ghana High Authority to actually see whether it's in conformity with the basic standards. So luckily, none of the footbridges would go without the ramp. And the ramp, that's what we say. And you can't assassinate, because the road doesn't even, that's right, we don't even get there, but they are very important. You're just like Sebi. Tomorrow, anybody can be a disabled person. God
but don't say Ghana has footbridges, as a improvised marketplaces. It's a baby a footbridge will be
Pugwasi and this year and I'll be go for
but I share for a year Tetekwashi as a end of the Liberation Road more honomono. A year meta once year still Ubunu na what the normal sense or advertise your water and at 9 p.m. when we say Kwabanane or share atadi tuntum na or the across inadequate lighting so na we na well or smin konko fa a footbridge in so enti mudie footbridge in fena yam fena mo ya na say we can actually adhere to the use of it
like I will share na 5 lane there so the road itself is more than almost like 40 meters. The actual platform, there's no way you can even cross the road. I think that this road, remember, is because you will have to do some small walking, maybe 100 meters, 200 meters to get to the nearest one to climb. Like I will say you know that because of the system you have, and a partner will feel you need to walk about maybe 10 minutes to the nearest bus terminal. Here we just want to come from our room and then we are picking the car just in front of the bus stop. That's the culture that on this road you can't do it. A lot of things will change on this road because say that you can't even move across the road because of the topography of the road. You can't move across it.
Enti na mayan share footbridges mako 10. And what that stretch of 17 meters, 17 kilometers or 17 miles?
70, yeah, it's about 17 kilometers.
17, so we are looking at somewhere in the region of 12 miles.
Yes.
And that's then 10 into every, everyone say 1.2 miles piano. And I say every 2 kilometers piano, there's a footbridge.
Yep.
Hey.
And it goes with the bus stop designs. Say bus stops, mostly you can put a bus stop somewhere and then have the footbridge somewhere. So I think it's an improved version of whatever you see in the country in terms of bus stops in relation to footbridges.
Okay. Because it has to be an improved version.
There's even one underpass from the John Terry School, the immediate one.
Usani petrol station one.
There's an underpass there. And we know you know our problems when it comes to underpass and robbery or thievery. So in our mind, there's even a design for a small police station that we are adding. And that one we actually
just crowd in a nice when you're baby you sir.
There's a police station for them. Yeah, 2 rooms with rooms.
And there's a public order act.
Yes. So you can't go and mess up in that place. Before you get to the end of the police, there's even a provision of some cameras to actually always survey whatever is happening under the footbridge.
Yane engineer Abdullahi Mahama and 18 Komo F 17 kilometer road a free Ukuyase at the Aircore and Swam Junction. Now, as a delays on the execution of that assignment, I'm a Kasabibre. Abamatim the dear DB papa. Omon Beka Kwansuina diatem. And then I yet try see a bet here who was exactly a dear na air coso. So. Yes, what to be actually in the foot bridges bears a 10 in the 17 kilometer stretch, What about car or person or U10? The nature a year and some now all done and near Saba back to Amasamai.
Okay. From Achimota New Plan. Ekwakudu of Anko, it's about 6 kilometers. When you just enter the main carriageway and our service lane, you are stacked.
You mean expressway no.
Expressway.
Good.
Now even with the service lane, no. They will do my 7. That's you can only come onto the service lane still. Express road. But so an improved version of it is what we have on the other side. Right after or from Pokuase, when you get into the toll plaza now, you move onto that side. The immediate turn, your mom 3 tier one masaman. You can move onto the 3rd tier and then turn into the Amasaman town and connect back to the filling station, police station, and they move back. That's because that's the 3rd tier. But we do Sapemana, the first flyover. Before you even get there, if you're in the main carriageway now, right around Macedonia, you're able to exit even from the main carriageway, the main service lane, to enter from the main lane to the service lane, initiate a roundabout underneath the bridge, Then when you are coming back towards Amasamana, you can actually enter the main express lane again. When you move from there now, you get to satellite. You can still move out of the satellite because there's a big community on the right-hand side. You exit out of the main carriageway. Kuntunsi. Then you can move on that Kuntunsi. When you get towards Media, the Sansam Junction, because you have almost like a 2-kilometer stretch, you can initiate a U-turn underneath the Media town and still enter the main service lane again. That's one instance on the Media Strona. Just after Media, we do Hebron. Before you get to Blue Sky now. Just between Hebron to Blue Sky now, there's another exit. That exit serves 2 purposes. You can exit
after the Shell petrol station.
That's right. You can exit onto those communities on your right, or you can exit on the service lane to be able to ramp onto the Nsawam Town Road.
That's right.
Or when you ramp on the Nsawam Town Road now, you initiate the U-turn and then roundabout at the top of the bridge. And then on your way back towards Media, Blue Sky area, you can still maintain the service lane, or you can exit onto the express road. So there's a luxury of moving on the express.
From no plan, Eriko Fanko.
Yes.
Unya eko service lane so a. Unya kwan bia
express lane.
Express lane so a. Unya kwan bia emfrim. This wakwa kodru Ofanko. Now be climb ye akọ
enugobekwa kodu
Pokuase White House and Sana.
No, White House won't me
White House interchange no so.
That's right.
So no if you say distance no. Yes so Marjorie do dey bo brankra ha ni wanga no wanga. Ogwa no odu atem. Now here is a Mustango, the Chevrolet. Now when you hang on petrol, na she baby a oko na your penny oko danani. Sasu na would no plan. Now one far expressway no so. Na osi from one. Onam ho sa ada so betimi akọ St. John's ho ana so bedru Tantra. Na wafro na watimi aye left. Ede akotantra anase ubedru Taifa Junction na waye right na wode awuram nti dru ba bi kura no a tantra fo no anase Taifa Junction fo no edru anopa na obekwa akoye runabout no wo Ofanko no rather no ode ahia wo mo free tantra no ba no omo ye da bia na ote ho no omo ye da bia ne principles betete omo da bia no omo di hia wo mo no aba CFC wo no no na waba be fa runabout
no wow
omo ye da bia so
that is dangerous
and no etisade what say between Pokuase after the interchange plaza na ye di toll no be ho no ubenya the opportunity atimi and free expressway no so at the service lane so
sure
on 3 occasions.
Yes.
30 mobile.
Yes, so first one here say after toll no then you determine your route say a service lane or you want to be on the express road. So the first one if you're on the express road let's say back to Accra. You have to be on the 3rd tier. That's the 3rd lane, the because I started with 1, 2, 3. You know. Then you exit.
They said the Pokuasi here 3 tiers, no?
Yes. 1.4 tier.
Pokuasi here 4 tiers. Pokuasi to Amasama is going to have 3 tiers.
3 tier, yeah. If you move onto the 3rd tier, ramp into the Amasama town on the left, then you exit onto the main carriageway. You are back to Accra. So obviously, once you just get there, you are approaching the toll again. It will do toll plaza and honor. Then you determine whether you want to be in the express lane or you want to be in the service lane. And that place, the luxury is so nice that once you are already dovetailing into the Pokwasi interchange road, which is already having its own nice how to maneuver from the main one to. But that place is the drivers have taken almost all the carriageway. I'm bus to back. I'm lane back.
Pokuasi bus. Turning into the police station on the right, no.
No,
and as free Amasama no. Okay, that right to one.
That's right.
I want to say, actually, not see one mona.
For 4. And a major one, I was moving towards Accra. Then they will be shortly between the last lane in the inner side, between the grass or the median kept, you know, and then the first lane. Now, total for now for better than I can answer for no.
Assembly assembly na process na so mo be ya saa na be sie if you say no mo say aye ho kra no say eye coach kra na e ba gise coach ni gia atwede na se ana gise coach ni gia engine petrol station anymore for na je hanyina fa hey assembly enti now so ubetimi asi eye e form variously. Is it also the case? Is that ubetimi a U-turn on 3 occasions?
Yes, the first one but the ideal one from Hono at the bridge or 3. So the Pokwasi Pubiman and access Happema first ramp no because of the runabout underneath, you know, it's just like MANSO there. But this, like I said, that's an improvement. So when you turn under the bridge now, you're able to dovetail onto the express road again. The next one is at Media, so you exit from the main express lane to the media service lane. You turn underneath the bridge. As you are moving back towards Accra, you dovetail into the service lane, the express lane, and then the nicest one among the trains, and put it near top. We get all the 2 no, cut down, but at the Dobro Junction, you are ramping off to Nsawawa, exit to the Nsawawa town, or you are using the runabout at the top there to come back towards Blue Sky. So when you get around Blue Sky now you can decide that you want to be in the service lane or you want to be in the express lane. So the luxury within that kilometer stretch, you know. And I think in between all of them, you can do that in about 2 to 3 minutes. Within 2 to 3 minutes, you have traveled that distance to make a turn. And it's so convenient that you can decide not to actually join the service lane because of because then when you're about to get to the full flyover, you exit from the design. And I know say Fiesta Royal Ufi Dimples top now. I think how you exit onto the main car.
Yes. Slightly.
That's right. But it's a longer clearance of almost 200 meters.
Okay.
That's for you to be able to sight any other car. So you don't actually enter the service lane at an angular you are entering onto the service lane almost like parallel to the other car. So you can either use the inner mirror or the side mirror to actually size the car which is actually coming.
That is if you use your mirrors regularly.
Yeah, I'm sure you also use. A lot of them don't use it. I think there are a lot of them, they have to remove their mirrors and give it to their wife.
I agree with you. Now, my young and say utuka on the J4 Avenue na udru tetekwa ubekwa kudru some junction. Now you are looking at 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour 45 minutes, just under 2 hours.
Yep.
Now what she say expressway no from Ofanko to Achimota New Plan 6 kilometers. I do it 5 minutes. Never do.
And like a whole speed, you say police for check.
6 kilometers in 5 minutes.
What's kind
yes, it's not track. Not so much speeding. I said, so I'm trying to calculate. Say 17 kilometers from Ofanko to Ensom Junction. No, under 2 hours. No, so if we are doing 5 minutes in 6 kilometers. How many minutes can we do for 17 kilometers?
No, that road has already been completed. A difference between what has been completed much
I'm trying
earlier.
to imagine just how quickly we can move. So hither to congestion in a densely populated area. You are doing under 2 hours because the road is under construction. And from what you are telling us, I war an earlier one. Ofanko coming back to no plan. Expressway no ho. Expressway near 6 kilometers. And I did 5 minutes fast one. So I be an in 2 hours no. And then say calculate. Let's say 17 kilometers. I'm trying to figure out or imagine how things may be okay for us, so as to assuage the feelings of one more no. Say eventually, say
no, eventually you do not do more than 11 minutes.
So you won't do more than 11 minutes.
Okay, if you are doing last time we have tabulation on my Facebook, if you are driving 100, then for the design of that road is a 100-kilometer design, not 150.
Oh, so it's akin to the same motorway regulations.
ADAKABRI, I see all the trucks and all the buses beyond in Sawam doing about 140 minimum. It's scary. And I've told you it's a moment fast speed limiters and share accelerator. But nobody is, because that's why when there's an accident, it's a bit devastating. It's very dangerous. No bus is doing 120 on that road.
Newer buses now urban. Something akin to the black boxes.
Omuntu today. Gano yeni ota. I don't know about buy 1 month now motutu the swipe card they use go. Almost 32 cars what the first.
Onto to the stand say and no say in the event of any crash crana one more testing officers they will be checking some of these things. So
the accident has already happened.
So we could do 11 minutes from Pokuyasi to Nsam Junction.
Yes, so especially
from Ofanko Junction.
Especially if you are doing on the express.
So a total of say 17.
Yeah, within 17, 16 minutes you should have gone long ago. If you are doing 100, you'll be doing about 11 to 13. If you are doing 80, you'll be doing about 15 minutes. If you are doing 60, you'll be doing about 17 to 8. 60 will be doing 17 minutes.
Okay.
Because 100 kilometers per hour. So that is, you are doing 100 in an hour. If you are doing 60 in an hour, you need only 17, 18 minutes to travel that distance. Because you are doing per the hour.
This year, say no pain, no gain.
But anyway, I want to be emphatic on one thing. Udu of Ankoa. I want, I know we can't exalt ourselves from the lapses on the road. But on a construction zone, maximum speed not exceeding 30 kilometers per hour. And now we have issue with rain and then dust. No car on that road when we have actually says and let me see and then so person no come cameras crack and no check from last week so I want to say o she mejuma last 3 weeks Friday.
Yes.
That's the own family some come bring me.
From
blue sky. Blue sky. They say me can say for Instagram. So we want to blue sky mommy. We share from Fanko from blue sky I could do in some that trough na o na so ne pondi no. Mahande ni na ya ma omo de asphalt ababego asphalt old asphalt abego na now breaking news nene first on your station. Say as I'm speaking with you Fise is receiving the first asphalt right now as I speak. Fise is receiving the first asphalt today.
Yakwadu abayfo on the Fise ntina Yakwadu ama Fise na nya the first asphalt on that stretch.
Fise first also.
Fise
they are right now as I'm talking to you the contractor is laying asphalt on the road.
Already. Afuna we penya asphalt ne hono mo kan ipa de meka senya me ya na mboa.
And that is exactly what is happening on that stretch. In fact, that is what you see here. My workers are yes. Omule quota to Fise between Fise and then Festus. Towards approaching towards Amasaman. The first of the asphalt is starting today. Oshe, so the entrance, I say the commuters should understand.
My breaking farmer authentic yakwadu oba panyin yakwadu me mo ha
Yeja.
Authentic na what saying
Brother do.
waye ye di nkomo ye di engineer Abdullah Mahama omo na ye in charge omo ehwe supervisor am ye mama or ye hwe ye ekwan free am poku yasede call and some junction na awie asempa wo mu ni say the first asphalt overlay on that stretch 17 kilometers no fise for and ye di kan awie ye ka say no ye di asphalt no ye di gu onom ye di na wo ka che engineer Mahama na adwumayfo a omo di asphalt egu wakura na se office ho
We are some. The crown has to say. A radin done as some of the asphalt gu so my. A radin done as. Yes, throw omo so kakran ka ho. Yen yatra na afoforo no e ho kamwa emwa. It say ye ko omo the asphalt gu so no. But the dokwa ko twa yuta ni nyina yan asphalt mu so. Ye go radin pai say ombe mo nsa so.
See, I would trap Pokuasi 4-tier interchange now. Oh, call also sufficient near Masamai, and also 3-tier interchange. And no bam up for the opportunity. So, bet me a U10 or Amasamai conveniently now. Work offices, school fair fairness one.
They say, Omo ye after Zakusi Amasaman, no matter what's free. Amasamanako, maybe a better U10 and Omo really Nakusi.
Says I said, a hot no more yakusi in the machine. The fact is that who ye fist in the Ababa one fist a honey first place. I did ask what you go.
Can't Mama say, my friend.
What I will feature
the point you might make friend of feature.
Young Pecan and a beer.
Now, I said, I won't feature on my country.
Okay, authentic Yamin Shawatiana, near Yamompa and Yakas, new dear Hinkai, and a Quabana Mafo, Maquaya, and a Hontoya, why?
And Samra, a barrier, a White House of Honors come.
What's it?
Vango barrier.
We shock observers in I say, Manana.
I didn't
Right, it's quite interesting. So we are making progress somewhere.
Yeah, but the Americans say, yeah, speed limit, you know. We don't respect it in Ghana. And you can't do it anywhere. Not even our neighboring country. Any vehicle, the gravel a good so. You didn't show a guso. If I engineer now say also didn't show guso. Why time say so the same guso say every car is doing about 30 kilometers per hour minimum. The road can take about 2-3 hours before the water will dry, with the traction of the vehicles and the speed. Now, anybody who sees that you are trying from I could do better, the person want to do 80-100, and then when he creates the dust now, forget the other car behind is now who's going to suffer. The next time if he is behind the other car, then he'll be angry because and then on the car in him. You see, and that one you don't need to have somebody. Say yeah, control and the speed drums. It will consume by this time. Almost the traffic that will get behind and into me and control. So we don't want to put speed drums on the quarry dust and the gravel when we are actually doing the road construction. So it's only proper say drivers no they will also minimize their speed. And so say the diversion speed drums in the bus. I'm sure say some of the trailers, on one case or say that. One times on farm waka.
Head no abeti
waka. We don't want to put the speed drums on the road, but the drivers should just minimize.
Now, do we construct our rules according to Obi also when you care? If you are master pin no crano, a defective. It be big a crab impeding no one.
Me send the pictures amount. I'll go say car view Superman full phase flyover. You do her and about 11 o'clock. There was great blood, no car was moving. So we got down. Who said meet the car anymore? What's happening to your car? You have a broken wheel? I said no. Other my shorty fuel.
What?
Now there's a flame oil just opposite. So can you get the oil in at the filling station? No. My driver know the gallons. Echo Atimota mile 7. Echo a company. Echo jeans. Echo different thing.
Diesel.
So the car gets taxed on the main road, which is only the route for cars to pass at that time, causes so much traffic behind. Was shorty fuel of it, man. short fuel. Oh, mean diverted road no so waka. Onye 40 bia. To fuel say they me ko ma 7.
Akwaje.
Ako company.
They said the road traffic at regulation, no.
Kufuor gallon akwaje.
Said the regulation was here dictionary.
Then anybody who is there at that time, one wait now makano. They will insult the contractor from heaven to hell because they don't know what's happening ahead of them. I can show the pictures of those cars on my phone.
Baba, wait. I'm not free, man. There was a way in the middle of the car. When you pay next time, as sport fan, sanity. So, if there's a woman, I bet me about DSA.
2 weeks. If you put price on Nana Okese, interview me. Yeah. News. Not that 3 weeks ago. And now, one of your journalists in the call, and the guy was telling me, oh, everything is moving well that particular evening. The next morning, by 9 o'clock, you do not before it's to run about church. Not to like people can have a track. In fact, it was actually in the middle. I say, and they say, my fire excavator and push you. The guy refused. We called Pokwasi police to come. When they came, some of them were begging the man. Driver, no. They were begging the man to move. The guy stood on the road and he repaired his car from 9 to 4 p.m. I told you I get to today. The guy refused to move the car on the road. He repaired his car on the road from 9 a.m. when we were willing to help him with the excavator to push the car. He repaired his car to 4 p.m. Impunity. I can't do anything as a consultant or a contractor. And actually, I'm telling you. So they are now struggling to use them. The tiny, So there was a backflow to a Fanko. Because one Burkinabe driver decided that he would not move into the car with any assistance by them. Got away with it. Because of bilateral relationship.
No, what bilateral about this? Don't work in this country. The point is that laws don't work in this country.
You should be whisked to the police station immediately.
You can't do that in all the French countries.
Bilateral agreement.
It's not about bilateral. It's just that laws don't work.
That's a problem in this country. Laws don't work. Bilateral agreement.
Can you do that in their country?
Or be used to port facilities. To port facilities no be used no. Oh, Guinea. A year facility be free the use of the port. It be been just go through the.
That's not the issue. That's not the issue. Don't belabor the point. That's the problem.
Because I know when I see his call, we say people are crying.
Because the guys are public.
But one shortage.
But we need to look at international relations. A bilateral agreement and this microphone about
don't overstretch the matter. Let me tell you something. This country, if you put a price tag on indiscipline, this country will make money.
Yes.
Yeah, too. You tell you are not supposed to. Dano GBC. It was live on GBC.
A cup with day.
What's that?
A cup with day. Motorcyclist.
Very good. Now you're chin on the spot near money to a cigar. Next time he won't do that. I stayed in Netherlands before. You have to go to post office and go and buy the ticket. In Tufra, there's a no one punch the number of stops that you are going. Until every 10, 20, 50 minutes, we have a traffic police that come in there to inspect. At that time, it was a Dutch flooring or gilder. Now you're on your mind. So, the police neighbor. Now you are going to 2 stops. It was 10 euro or 10 guilders and not 10 florin. Now it was mostly the blacks who do that. Obi to me for why we are lucky now you get away with it. But if you are in the drum and the
mostly the vulnerable groupings na the blacks.
At least I know those who the whites don't do that. It is we who do. You will pay 75 friends guilders.
Yes.
And that 75 girl we give you now D25. What is it? I know D25 friends guilders.
Yeah. And I said what ma camp Burkina Faso trucks.
I'm just saying, even in Ghana here, if you put a price tag on the indiscipline that we exhibit, the state will make money.
Because type of
just a lawless country.
Type of long vehicles are you use. Meaning, because I know my question say the free. Put me say Okuta bears 6-7 assholes.
Yes.
It's a new. It's an articulated track. So my
let say they are especially with the Burkinabe trucks.
I see.
They have a very seasoned wood. And they are back. I'm talking about the cover.
Yes.
And they add, I don't know how they get it.
And it was the breath for no.
Yeah, the breath from
This Saturday. Now you check us now. In fact, our lady, friend Doreen, she's doing very well.
Doreen out here.
Debbie. I have one engineer who is on the side.
I wait on your science related Doreen.
Now, I don't know a car then can width, and we more than 1.4 meters.
Aye.
That's why the road standard near 3.6.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now this truck which was coming out of Ankono, the weight has a weight na Diego, and both sides and one else Diego say what take be 5 meters of the road. And I feel the cars being to me fan.
Can you imagine that? This wasting everybody's time and getting away with it.
A very good road will suffer the distress of that particular road.
Yes.
Vehicle, and you go and blame the contractor.
Okay.
That should start from the axle load from the ports.
Yes, I'm back to relocation of utilities. But before then, one of the questions said that fridge, earlier challenger yet me identify yes, swampy areas, afromo, and uncrophosisi dying. Na I was a contractor, so back pass, some back to some near Ade. Now we are asking, say, processes bang, and you come to start developing a building on a plot of land. Enti yet me see dying, and yes, swampy areas.
But just scroll down.
Scroll.
This is around Amasaman. Now Nipa now we see down. We see huge factory.
White natural air.
Thank you. It was a stream.
Stream in West Side.
From Anqua Dobro top of the best one Masama. And they cut towards Cape 3.3. So that I'm see the structure. Now when person made this because they didn't cook it. I'm just coming from Accra. I
was no see factory now. What fair nipa no? And yes, I now call to say we see factory a fair nipa. You are going to see swampy area.
No, swampy. He's actually truncated a stream.
The flow of the water.
It's about 120 meters long. Sitting in the middle of the storm was truncated the flow.
Truncated the flow of water.
See how come
he
got the
building inspectors?
So eventually,
and I do it in court.
Eventually,
no. Say when we go to court, then we know what has happened.
Because for me, step, why don't we get a report from the assembly? How did this building get?
He will come and prove that in the court. He will come and prove that.
Almost 16 months. And I'm not getting any solution.
He will come and prove that in court.
With the big men who matter.
No, but
to take this issue to court.
BBC, public servants, FM Hoodie.
You know what
local service servants, FM Hoodie. And then the Musa building inspector and say, then as I done we, ABC, does it have a permission to build? And a dear, Mama will see a factory cracker, is in Zoom, as opposed to the honorable Cassidy as in Zoom, or in a court, as I could tria a year legal charges.
ADAKABRI building way. Your man of videos.
Yes.
And by a man of Google pictures.
Yes.
That has exposed the developer. Say in 2013, the river was actually flowing. 2016, you acquired the land for, I don't know. 2017, 18, 19. You fill the river.
The river stream, the course.
It's against the laws of the land.
Environmental, just a degradation.
You fill the. In fact, it's all diverting. You know, he actually filled
the stream, the course of the water.
A small bypass be on the left.
What comes you know?
So, you see, in between Amasaman to the first footbridge and the first flyover, when the contractor has finished the road, that's where the lowest trough. Now this building is actually blocking a very heavy flow of water.
Yeah.
You say that the contractor didn't anticipate this on the road, and then the road is flooding. When the person who has done this is just behind, it's just next to the facility.
So that will be the effect.
So that is what we are going to. We are going to avoid any tantra flooding similar to what. So we will take this thing on. We will get the person to face the law. We are giving two options: either you construct you see, the law says that.
On changing the course of the river by reconstructing the course.
The event where you have dole, so we see what you have to provide adequate flood control measures.
I said under administrative law, no. I was say ni nyina no onko assembly no hwe
Thank you.
e ma sa de ni nyina ekoso assembly kre
That is not what we see there. So we are showing the person yearly progress of his work.
because now he becomes victim of circumstances.
No,
because
are you sure?
He's actually in construction.
And assembly no in the first place, but assembly no will condone it. At the end of the day, no.
And one because he knows when he said doing and you're right. You see, Mami for bibin count. Eventually, the effect will be that there will be flooding there. There will be a situation where if the rain falls, and so is such a way, who broken the choir. It will find its own way.
Yes.
People who hitherto were never flooded when there was rains will now feel the effect.
Yes.
And they wouldn't have access to the narrative, no.
Very good.
And they will say the government
is now it's going to happen. And then the taxpayers' money will now be about the president will now, the government will now, we called, and then I mean, this kind of
this is under construction. We will buy in the water and stop the water.
But we are asking, what are the processes I see down here? Into Yamakwain, Amasa Dino.
First is zoning. That's how to zone the area, whether it's a mini industrial hub or an industrial or residential area. But now you can go.
Is it a warehouse?
Yes. No, it's a factory.
A factory.
You can go to a location. Not zoning status for an assembly for no. Obiako zoning just one parcel of land as an industrial hub in a residential area.
Yes,
that's
happened. They can rezone a land for several times
in the residential area.
Yes.
As an industrial hub.
Yes. I've seen that before.
I think it's part of it because I want us to say I wouldn't put some of my integrity on this road.
Yeah.
And then see what I've done and chastise a lot of people over the years. That's why I'm taking
I'm
taking every letter because I won't let it happen on this road.
So relocation of utilities na yedru hin.
So the Ghana ECG, they're about 75% complete.
ECG.
Yes.
No mo pay dumso no. Contractor pay dumso no, nsa kan dumso no.
No, so now what they are doing is that every Sunday when there's no rain, because so I'll do light now, that's in Sota, nobody can climb. Now it's when it's even drizzling because of lightning and other things. It's dangerous for anybody to climb onto the pylons and work. So when we get ideal weather conditioner, all the Sundays they have actually say Sunday maybe one special cases all the Sundays coming ahead of us they will do the
communities up to Kuyapem up to Asamankas and Ayani Dundum no. Do they know say acquiring tea?
No, it doesn't get there now.
It doesn't get there now. Or a particularizer.
Breakers
breakers.
We share from Sawam Junction they are cut towards
Asamankas are there so I do
or different line. And they are cut towards a breed. Pure Mampono is on different lines. That they take the feed from Ayimen Stadium, feed the reverse.
Okay.
So won't have total black on the road.
Do we know 75% complete, 25% no timeline? No, have they told you?
No, send the mama say if it in the rains, if the person decides to more blackout this Sunday, and the rains are okay that. So you are having like they say, he can finish in the next 4 months. Barring any unforeseen here is the rain. On there no any issue with any other type apart from the rain spend and we are actually in the peak of the season. So but they're actually working. They are really, and see when it goes off now, the contractor quickly has to now take his gang and be able to strain the lines between migration between two lines. So that he can give they're actually strategically working with the contractor saying, I want to work on this footbridge number 5. So can you specialize this week for me on this area so that as the other side may not affect my progress
that's
of
a
work.
Kind of synergy, bisa.
That's why I can work on the footbridge and finish so that it doesn't mean say it might take a longer
So
time.
now you appreciate the efforts of the Electricity Company of Ghana.
Yes, they are moving on with the contract.
Relocation of utilities. Ghana water is saying.
And also they are quite far. From Sawam Eba Bedu towards satellite. Kuntun say that's on the right hand side on Mui. And I'm more towards the left hand side to feed all the way to the stadium junction. I'm just saying also it may not
because also free Pokuase Festus the Fise Amasamano. Also more smaller new pylons be a young fan who
that's
and no more the bigger, a taller pylon no
That's right.
ehoma no guso no eno mo ye ho adwuma no.
So some of them they are still in the same line, the alignment, but because it's actually sitting in the median. You know, some of them they want to just lengthen the interval between the two. So it will actually sit in the median without interfering with the stream of flow. So some of them will just be in the median, but to be cutting off without any like impact on them. And that's actually off the main carriageway. They actually, and they will say, "Don't be a bubu and confront." I say, "I don't bubu. Don't be a quite do no more." Because on this road, you know, the back of the drainage, you know, both left and right, you know, there's a walkway from end to end.
Okay.
So you can have your bicycle there to move around your bicycle or to do your walking.
Now my allowances for motorcyclists.
Listen, that's a walkway. We are
I
restricted.
walk when now they come out motorcyclists.
No, the motorcycles should not be there. Motorcycles. They're a car.
Now who to want to Amasama? No, Amasama on motorcycles and I'm all.
Not like a mere 5 lane amount. My mouse 2 service lane. You want to still go on the walkway with the
so motorcyclists no be fine.
Who can bicycle now?
Make a moto.
No, they should be on the service lane. They should be on the service lane.
I don't know much as here MP motorcycle route to Mano.
Well, share 101 cases here. We are even taking our own land. And they will cut here.
But a motor will not quite.
We don't have the luxury of land. As I said, no, I buy 2003, 2005. You know, we are using to the fullest.
But some motorcyclists also a road user.
It
all in Nipana, pedestrian, all in a bicycle, all in a motorcyclist.
You want to do the road in 100 years because many people can say, I buy a car on assassin from 2003 to 5.
Busan baby, or free buy your car Holland as a motorcyclist to one of
You don't get me. I'm saying that you have been given, you are constrained with the land. I buy a car to an assassin 2005.
And so.
And they have 101 cases outstanding at court. Now you say acquire another land.
On the motor, they said that there would be a.
But the walkway is adequate for a motorcycle too.
2 meters, 3 meters.
No. Even the walkway is saying.
It just yen to me and your day.
Maybe I know
in 20 years to come.
No. I don't know. The road that we are doing for a 5-lane design, even with the anticipation of 25-year design or whatever, you will not use the road under 40% of its capacity. So that's the speed. Yes, because you are checking the annual percentage growth of the road, which is 6%, which is actually standard. There's no issue with it at all.
There's no issue with it. Okay, it is now. You actual carriageway, you know. What you can catch is fise. The asphalt overlay, no, ya chassis lay.
The new valley. Where your first construction? The new valley.
All the filling construction.
And your first one, new valley.
Your first one. How many? Okay. And what the failure, the thickness, you're saying.
Oh, I don't have it open, but it's higher than whatever you have seen in Nachimota of Angkor Road.
I was so
higher.
Because I'll share the type of vehicles and NAMSO no.
A contractor will do a very good road, but the axle load for the police for Namboya. Every road.
Because didn't I make us say in 2005 was it? 2005 for baby. And a John for that was a Chinese for no. What's a China railway for no? Fight to Rika Hayaka Kokotna and now share and Nessa Quano. 2005 next we are into how many years now? Almost 19 years. So no. Nessa the Quana CIA no.
Long before this.
So next time I'll construct a year up young Quanta to a year Linda Door, Sunitra, brand new road at the same 11 kilometers from a year in Sutem to Asamatam for at the same Korea for a year, you know. It's na ya because nipper be worried as to the quality of the road. In fact, my main king control Nipano the buy so that you can appreciate where I'm coming from. I'm trying to get there.
Standards. There are standards across.
The standards there.
Small deviation one. And that's a diversion. I mean, digression. That's why I'm excited about the railway that, in fact, Nkaibe started here with the Kakosi Kwanusa.
A insurance ain't mean king.
Oh, the beauty is that in about maybe if by next year it actually comes to full streamer, there are what I'm told there are batches. Train I say trailer. Or more harbor. So whatever goods come from Amanone when they get to the harbor now, the train line on my could do as a to the loading bay. So that this yes. I think people are not actually
educated, sensitized on it.
Sensitizing on it because it's a very laudable thing that's happening at the harbor there. Now the trailer, the train will come with a head. Is that like a low bed? They can load about maybe 6 containers onto the back. 6 containers. Then you move from that place through the Mpakadam to the lake.
Okay, the Water River.
When you get to Water River now, another barges, it will load like a crane. It will load onto the ship on the barge on the
yes.
Then it will now move to Yape. Now you have truncated Bupe.
Logistics terminal.
That's a Bupe. So in about less than a day, or do Bupe.
And it's cheaper.
And then there are trailers waiting at Bupe.
That will also load
now
and continue to the north.
Load and go. So in about a year, if that should start functioning, you will now appreciate the functionality of all our road from Accra all the way to maybe Tamale and beyond.
Also, please, can you inform the gentleman there in the studios that he should pay a serious attention to the quality of work that the Chinese engineers are doing on the Pukwase and Sam Road? Some parts of the gutters are broken already. The quality is very low. No. The consultant should know this.
And then there was every construction, this one is a knockdown. Oh yeah, you drainer is not reinforced. He's talking about from Ofanko towards Amasaman. We say because we are now constrained between the New Jersey barrier and the drain. We'll be a transfer by avoiding you because the New Jersey are not reinforced. So everybody is coming towards the right. It's a knockdown of the drain. The drain may only become stronger when you have now filled the earthway to the top. And now the road is here.
Okay,
it's a non-reinforced drain. Any drain like that will break. But the contractor knows some of them will actually broke it so that we can allow the water to enter the gutter now. But when we get to the ocean from China Mall, and the towards Amasaman is here now. The reason why for the past 2 nobody is complaining about that side is say contractor failure be do so. And then the right material and other feel no. When it comes to do the asphalt now, what be 2 bear, another bear 1 foot. Because now he doesn't want people to have flat stagnant water there and from China Mall towards
on your trailer bit, this is Sargon from Achimda. I say this railway trailer is not new. It was same that was taking timber from Oda to Takrady.
There's a big difference.
The timber the end of the say that the I say the timber be 4 and 5.
But then what's it?
Yeah, this
name was it?
They're banana serious. ADAKABRI we are talking about double head engines. Then actually Nisiwo on the other side. We say and train and count to me. This one it just moved to the other side and powered back. It moved back to Tema. So they must say DM whatever double whatever engine way. And that one can travel 120 kilometers per hour. The one they have, yes, 120
kilometers faster.
It's faster.
Jamra back to Yanya Yatin somewhere until now. Yashare relocation of the utilities. And Yashare legal wranglings, any compensation issues, back to the main carriageway, main carriageway, What's happening?
No, sir. That's why they have started the asphalt today. Wherever the contractor doesn't have any impediments, they are working. If you look at now, the hope is that maybe in the next few months, I will say to me, tie off Anko all the way to Pukwase, and then in between Pukwase to Festus, there's a short area where Indian Take. That's where the toll is going to be. But we're going to make sure you're on the motor.
And Nimona Kwabidi buses be a on just at the end of Pukwase interchange. Who be do Festus one on so what
we are doing is they want to make the place more trouble. Because that one, Festus, Diana says on our court.
Sir.
That is what is hindering. Otherwise, we could have had a smooth transition from Ofanko all the way to Amasaman.
Can also bet me about because break point no amasamai. Said there be a traffic. No process for and foot
That building is a court.
So
And law-abiding people. I don't know. I go have email police. Go have email call you prison because
so
the excavator consists here. But the next time you see me say contempt.
But ADAKABRI, I just want to add some viewpoint about.
Okay,
Semia, no, Kase. When we start a move goods and services from Tema Port up to Bupeno, that will be the point. The usefulness of the railway through Mpakadano. I mean, this country, for heaven's sake, there are so many things I don't understand. Mintiasi, I told me maybe say what is my party MPP and the leaders or the NDC and the leaders? Haven't they been out there before? Water transport in Ghana here. If we are people, I don't know what word to say. I wanted to say if we would think, but I won't say that. Water transport, with the difficulties we have in buying fuel and how road transport is causing this country.
How do you propose to deal with the tree stumps in the Water River?
Oh, that's no news. It's no news at ADAKABRI unless you are not informed. Recently, an NGO came and did in that it's not when you say there's no problem about that. And that between friends Bupe and the port, we don't have a problem about that. There used to be a Yape queen.
Yeah.
I'm saying that if we are people who have foresight, and it boils down to leadership. Because in
Riana Tria,
I'm not talking of where there's no tree stumps.
Boat capsizing in the other.
They are talking a different matter. That's
Kratchy area,
Afram Plains, and then going towards Baton Water region. These are those areas that have no consciously been removed. But I'm saying to you, if I have a leader who is conscious about cutting down using road transport, so that when you increase one city on fuel, it has a cascading effect on everything in this country. That is no news. It's no news.
A constructed trucks, would they encourage you to get into?
My brother, you are building a nation. If you are building a nation, you should make sure that livelihood in the country makes things easier. To transport bulk of each items from Tema to the northern sector using the Yape or barges makes sense than any other thing to me in this country. Water transport. Okay, say.
Articulator heads no makotone he.
What's he saying?
Almost trucks no makotone he.
Is that side and I was a abandoned one.
I was a trucks doors so
I was send a mechano and a mechano me say nka aha eye baby a na your leaders no I think of another alternative of transport to make life easier for the ordinary Ghanaian who will develop water transport. Hwe yeji
Uwiana mama beka momo de no. I don't know he has a way he has a job to do elsewhere.
Maybe I just want to ask something to you.
He has to go.
Yes, but I'm adding to what he said. This is very important. It wonders to me that my correct reporters or journalists are not talking about alternative road. I've lived in Frankfurt. No goods go by road. It goes by rail. Rail don't use fuel. Until when you increase the cost of fuel, it doesn't affect goods and services. And so when you buy milk, which is absent in this country, one Dutch mark at that time, for over a year, when you go, it will still be one Dutch mark. Because you are using rail transport. What is preventing us from doing a similar thing in this country?
Okay.
Then when you buy this water 1 city today, tomorrow when you go, it is 2 cities. I mean, I just don't get it.
Now, so Baba Minister. Engineer, tell us about progress of work on the main carriageways from Okuasi to Nsawam.
No, so both the main and the service lane, the contractor is hitting around almost 60% work done, and the other works, my only fear is that we'll be able to move from Ofanko with the speed of light as you are driving. Now we drew Amasaman now there's a block or there's a
bottleneck.
Because of the foot bridge, the main bridge now. You see, any affected claimants, have one or two issues. So these are the few things that say if it's clear. But the minister is really on it. And
and to me, but I know about the stationary vehicles on that stretch. How we propose to deal with it.
Information behind there.
Soble or say, the road from Spanner Junction to Medina as a bicycle lane, which motor riders sometimes uses. In the bicycle for be from Tetekwashi up to Medina, no, a bicycle lane, no.
It's a walkway.
It's a walkway and bicycle for Nafa.
I send them to my use. I get you where you want to have bicycle motor. It's a wider area, so it's a discretion.
But so we share bicycle way no, and that's a walkway no. Along the Kwashi to Medina no, there's a gap of about 5 meters. There 3 to 4 meters. That walkway no, any main carriageway no.
Okay.
Because the thing can say motorcycles doorso war southern part of Ghana. It that to know a northern part of Ghana. As you see, a normal doors on southern part of Ghana.
Two discipline. North of Ghana. Maybe cannot be. Sometimes I get amazed. I take pictures, phone and take pictures when we're in the traffic light. BH, red swar. Normally, everybody's standing waiting for the red and the green. It's not like that. But there's one thing. Like I was champion. There's one thing between Togo and Ghana, Benin, and Togo and Cote d'Ivoire. You enter Aflao. You just jump into Lomé. You are on your helmet.
But you do Aflao.
You just move, flip onto the Aflao. You have removed your helmet. Must we tell the police commander?
That's the discipline I was talking about.
That's
the discipline I was talking about.
I footed a bill of a colleague who just moved from my house in less than few minutes time. The nane from the pelvic, the knee, the ankle, 37,000 Ghana cedis. He was just lucky that somebody was there to be able to help to get his leg not to be amputated. How many people, if you know the record of people who are getting their limbs off in Ghana now, in fact, and we are not championing the ladies in particular, they prefer their hair than to wear their hair.
Oh, sir.
I'm telling you, I'm doing a whole report on that.
No, it's right.
It's amazing.
It's right.
That watermelon advert way sometimes been opinion to watermelon fish on a bowl on a pie. Why not bring that? It was scary. Okay, it's advert, you know. Oh, the banner.
Shatai.
Or 2 years, both on the machine will say that's how your head will spike, will break into two. When you have this.
Exactly.
And nobody's.
Look, in Kolebu now, the accident, emergency, when you have a problem, when you get an accident, friends, a motorbike, I think they are all angry that even if they can do something about your leg, they will amputate it so that people will learn sense.
Moto.
Yes. So people learn sense. Yes. Exactly. You say what?
I get you.
It's not it's unethical and unprofessional for anybody to engage in that.
Can we sanitize the motor riders on our road? Now, we to say Sunday, be not to force a program. Maybe will be wedding and outdooring. They can see 200 motorbikes on the road, and everybody has to stop for them to move. What kind of lawlessness is this? They take the whole road.
Yes.
Vehicles have to stop,
and then they come and pass.
You can't move.
So we should begin to
So we should government hospital. On dead body. Look at what happens on the Sam at the.
In fact, the advice is between and Sawam and Suhum, who drive on that stretch of road, you should be mindful of motorcyclists for them. But why you careful to we be cross to see the motorcycle nabono. The drivers are sensitized. So bomodia boko na it me avoid it. And some to Suhum. Put me avoid one one faka pass now motorcyclist. We okay. Na the woman's and a jokrano na on a hard shoulder na or the face you and on what sort of light to light number to one careful it affects mummy no na monam a carriageway no so and it a lot of difficulties
and then this one once you are actually having the mileage is it ADAKABRI abuso kan macho please more money come say and I do almost like normal like they are coming the other direction you mistaken them as motorbike. Can they put reflectors at the side
on the joints, no?
If you meet the
why do you say motorbike never?
Thank you.
No one
gives the one light.
Ocean one light now.
Yes.
I don't say the shoulders no one no. What's the she
There are no reflectors. It is one of the things.
They come with one light.
Yes.
Send there one light. It's a motor head with some bucket at the back.
Okay.
But that bucket side,
you know,
bucket no. That
shoulder that you will see it when there's a reflector.
And is that what it?
Abobo is the smaller.
You get so that one has two lights.
That tricycle.
So when you said one light, I was confused.
Yes. Every day, so me say me who light back. I don't assume it's a motorbike.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to throw headlight whether it's a motorbike or that tricycle.
Yes.
Okay. I say, Wafa, please tell engineer it's not a walkway. There is a walkway.
You are here.
Then the bicycle lane. They're receiving a signpost which indicates so.
Okay.
Okay. Then it's good. They've done well.
No, when you have the luxury of land, you don't have any constraint. You
at this stage, are we able to incorporate it?
No. But the walkway is quite. You are dealing with the highway, which actually sandwiched in a community in a commercial or semi-concentrated area. But even with that, there's a provision for a walkway through and through. That's an addition.
Try also a track one on there. Just a China Thursday.
Man can be me upon my radio no more.
Me per se a China my baby.
You told the day I remember blaming me.
But it's a China by 11 a.m.
Me check video send we are.
As at today.
Oh no, as at the whole week there them.
Okay, but
we are moving on the same page now. What we want to do is that the trucks the contractor has put dedicated machines which is doing the reshaping daily. But one thing, once you do be a break, when you grill block 2 weeks ago Saturday, and comfortably more than 6 hours. It was not by the road. Mid-year, where there's the bridge, our main construction. We said because the bridge is actually somewhere between the two roads, you use the right towards Kumasi, and those who are coming to also use the right towards Accra. Now,
small opening,
slow motion Accra, less than 4-5 minutes. Then tolerance. So mostly the Kumasi bankers they move onto the southbound and approach those who are coming from Kumasi. And when they unfortunately they get trailers to follow them now, the trailers cannot reverse. When they actually the bridge is about 700 meters. So when they push them 1 kilometer then there's a great block. And yet, because what happened on mid-year last 2 weeks, was not the road of the functional.
You
can't move back. Go back. To reverse.
I'm a Samai on Sunday, trucks in access recovering or towing stationary vehicles.
Friday. So because say any penifona kasawa kra. Immediately next have another meeting omni penifona kasawa omo come frame. Nyame aduma they will come and assess the place on Friday. Hopefully by next week, they will station one truck. But I will catch through this advice to the police as well that I am mandatory that when the truck is stacked a distressed vehicle on the road now, it has to be towed with a fine or a fee. Sorry, a fine. There's only a fine and a fee. He has to pay for the fee of towing. But they shouldn't say that they will not allow the truck to tow them because they want to stand the road and repair. Otherwise, like
I rather also just to say,
I've been told that
in a construction site, or see it me absorb the cost of towing into the
I didn't know.
When a car is on the road, that's the something I can slightly attribute to the nature of the road. But you don't tell me say engine any problem or road or hub or pump. I say hose are pipe. you want to I mean
And full and asa.
full as shorty. You want to relate to say quite a matter.
I said, oh, person, your point, conveniently.
Oh no, you have to pay. Alakabe will pay. Alakabe say Alaba you yourself say Uma who started with international treaty which means say there be. Who started say contract and absorb cost. We can't absorb the cost. Alakabe 6, 7, 8 cars a day. And you could pay 2,500 or 10,000 per car. Alakabe we can't do it. If you look at the price of the product now could be 80% more. You tell me say the contractors connive with somebody to take the money. Okay, let's work accordingly. If your car is 40, and I car in time, a man sign before I say you.
Yes.
A car's not so and it doesn't just happen. Yes. A more indication severally. Maybe hope me you saw one of my cars on a Sunday. No say change I said no, I must driver go to
and find out
and get the car there. Get this and not to be 7 on the back here. My baby, I can't one thing tomorrow. I'll take it back. And now just instant ways are not safe. So every vehicle that you see on the road, I would don't blame you contractor. No.
So now
it doesn't happen like that.
From Friday, we are likely to have a tow truck
assessment on Friday, hopefully.
Assessment on Friday.
In the coming week.
Okay, Martin.
Also,
the service route from John Ted through to Fise is very small. Just one low bed truck carrying bigger excavators cover the whole route.
As you said, the low bed and the waiting is. And secondly, another case, interview that we can say service lane as a carriageway width. The minimum width is there. That road almost 7.2 meters from Ofanko to the end. That is more than the minimum required service lane. That is for the service lane. Those trailers now come and they have no business in the service lane. There are 3 express roads that they have to move onto the carriageway. On you should be our honor. No, they don't have to meddle with anybody on that. Because right from Achimota, he's actually in the main road, straight to Ansawam and Kumasi and beyond. He has no business in the other service.
Okay, now we are through into someone answer Echna. Echna after 11. My friend, Echna, my program to me, person, banner. So far what you've done,
okay,
because it impacts on operations. Coach works, and there was even this talk. Can say a GPR 2 considers able to do a year first based on that. There are no indications.
I only see what tell me some this kind of sometimes as a Ghanaians we are not fair to ourselves. Principle, right? Oyadefa Ayimensa Ekwayan. That was my first road after school, and that was 2004.
First road after school.
2006. And I was saying, "Mommy, won't you do a Sakwan? My Ekwayan did 17 years. Won't you mean come to better?" From Oyadefa Ayimensa, Pedestrian Lodge, Kitase, Jankama, Ebri, Ashurase, Obusumasi, Tutu, Mampo, Abutechi, Amanoko, Manfi. I was saying that chairman,
but you are right, because
what happened on that road was that when we blocked Ayimensa to Pedestrian, now a blast now Madina, Omocas na eko kufudu ane Ebri no mufa kwabenya
no mabefa
agimenti kusu kwano
Rikusu no mabe se Kitase.
They increased their fare. It's because it took an exponential percentage increment. When the road was reopened, they never withdrew their prices. That's the reason why people wonder why Medina to Ebri why are they charging slightly higher than that smooth road? I was saying can I also do that. So they actually built on the percentage that they added. Because
it was not taken out.
Yes, it was not taken out again.
Okay.
And that's what has happened. So when the moment construction, the road is actually being constructed. Nobody should pay that money.
Right. Meanwhile, I'm Aliban to Okada, but I may have to ask him and give him the opportunity. Ora, Haruna Kingsley Amaliba, that's na engineer A. Pijanemu. They are also very represented for one. So we must be back be answer now. Mama Nemusua. Haruna Kingsley Amaliba. of the National Democratic Congress and one also what Nasia or no ankasa so nye ho dem wasia or set the bibia amalo will be kakabusa na on the ken we no nko
ofa bibia me wobusa engineer very simple idi kan me mo ha na me nchi atifu na me nchi am pini from senior sabia any engineer yes sir CM my share pictures and videos from other countries, particularly in Africa. Now, we share a kwanya omo yena side gutters no omo yene U shape ni bio. Because the U shapes are easily to be blocked. Omo yene vein. You get it? Don't say vein emu buy. And he say ensure to ensure do etimiko. And na mfan say obstacle be block okrampo na ye year enye den. Aden and a Ghana model so you have vein gutters.
Blue
you gutters, which are easy to be blocked. And moreover, they are also open.
No.
Ghana engineers, are you being fair to us?
No.
Hey.
No.
And Ghana engineers who don't want
No. The point is not actually like that. Oshe suhun kwana.
He may be ignorant.
And no, maybe I don't. The West is not okay for me. Oshe of Anko Kwana, Oshe from Media, and Sawam bypass. No, what he's talking about, that's actually in the median. If you know trapezoidal drain, or trapezoidal, is it trapezoidal?
The shape
or a V drain. It's trapezoidal or V drain.
In the middle of the nature has a central reservation.
That's right. And I would do towards teacher Mante corner. Some of the areas you see the trapezoidal drain even at the extreme ends. What we are doing here, we're going to slab them. But the U drain is functional than the trapezoidal drain, unfortunately. And the U drain is more expensive than trapezoidal drain. The trapezoidal drain, you don't need the formwork. You lean the drain against the earth. So once your earth is eroded, the trapezoidal drain is not functional. I will share that. We are looking at the capacity from 0 to maybe 100 at the top. But you drain has 600 to 600 at the top, or 600 to 800. It depends on the type of water you are catching in that area. That determines whether you are doing a storm drain, or a vein ditch, or a U drain. But this one we are doing here, we are going to slab it from the beginning to the end, but we'll leave the holes inside. One of the things that brings about non-slab drains, say slabby drains, because say Ghana, we are not ready to slab all our drains. And I've said this over the past 5 years. Why? Because Holland, UK, whatever it is, what is the nature of the adjoining land? It's either grass or stone pitch or concrete. So when the rain is actually bringing the water, it doesn't bring the silt into the drain. What is happening around the Brekusu stretch? What is happening around the Aveno Abofu stretch? The water, the expansion of development around the Abofu Ajimenti Road or Brekusu stretch, it has not been lined there, has not been grassed or concreted there. So whatever happens in the upstream, brings all the silt to Aveno here and to Odo. So until you're able to do proper grassing in your adjoining lands, you cannot slab your drain, because if you slab it, the water will still carry all the silt to your drain.
So you cannot desilt it.
You can't desilt.
So
we should start to improve on our adjoining land. That is not actually.
Me know as na young kokadi young for you interested. That is politics.
But again, so is that even the storm drain? We can't what's it called?
Okay.
Cover it. You cannot slap it.
Okay. Now we are engineer for mama.
You slap and you do process for what do you call it?
Okay. Engineer Abdullah Mahama. There was a pass or by. China Mefro. I'm about to visit you. Na map cameras. Na ya be exactly remedial works am way. Any baby a year my kwano and the edru. Yani engineer Abdullah Mahama and share. Right. Enti Chinano Yami Adomwa. Na honorable member of parliament for Bantama, the rules minister, Bantama Asan Subuachi, Beppe Yakochia or non so. Na Yanadi Nkomo, because we say no as a attending in a door so do. And the honorable member of parliament for Bantama and the Rose Minister Ras and Subwachi. No, so Chinano. Aquaco Penaquaco Chiano, Niaco Casa, we want them. Now to politics, straight on. NDC is afraid of Napo.
Offer.
In the studios, Sabik Bukri of the New Patriotic Party and Haruna Kingsley Amaliba of the National Democratic Congress. Daniel J. Sapon, Nanaya Sapon, also Ebeba for the Movement for Change. Amaliba, is a Muslim Napo.
Yo, offer Mamin Chia na Mamin Chia Phobium. On the do Wednesday, we are saying, my chairman Michael Tete, ETA, Timamema chairman, aha. Offer. Oshe afi abaye kwa kotona.
One who say
about
is afraid of
depend on
one who are those saying that.
Few things. Now the edikano, the personalities involved. And now you can't personalities no so you are talking about character. In as much as in Ajitum say President Mahama, Bani Nimdie, Nyansa, any atenka, compassion about the nation. The Juma waye edi aboa o man ne eda nso na oye nipa bi a Ghana for betimi anya ahotoso ewo ni mu ko oye truthful oye honest person osanso ekuta the vision to develop Ghana obedi mampeni from 2013 ABC 2016 January 7 I'll hand it over. Modern morning is what you know the buy no and not me aboa man ne University of Ghana Medical Center so far omo 6 successful kidney transplant operations ya police ni bia ono nso na sabio wanya brain tumor awake brain surgery na that kind of operations yenye bi o Ghana ha ene President Mahama na dwuma obebo yenti Rich Hospital, Greater Accra Regional Hospital, it me that kind of operation in the country, which indeed could not have been done or could not have been possible in this country over the last years. And he said, "Ebano, and so I didn't know de boama Ghana tumponwa." President Mahama stand tall. Ebio, o ni pa okan se mo bit imagine di. San say atro enimu. This to me is one of the telling point of President Mahama. Has been a leader before, and no one till date. Omiti Press last, I think Monday or so, that was last Monday. Ewo Kimpiski. Otmi Sinebo I can say I have been president before, and I left office for the past 7.5 years. So by the way, Ewo Bibi Fami on Fambetuja. There is none. By virtue of that statement, the President Mahama proved to the nation and the whole world, say, he was a victim of lies and propaganda. A trona koshia ye petuminti, ya share ye defa President Mahama on kadi good anymore. Say the be on beji to me and ye humo. From Aboma Hokotwada ho. And tia now Mokoyi Matupoku Prempe. Na almost say Napo. Here end is for you through Napoa. In any case, about 1 year na podin ebeba ballot paper no so. Eyalaji Mahamadou Bawumia, the vice president, ni din ebeba ho. Bia MPP amayoku no constitution. Wo mo twro no chenchenen chen de shem eyekete. Say, for you to become a party member or a flag bearer or a running mate of the party no, to hold such a significant position, I was so to me a party member of 5 years of good standing. 5 years of good standing. At the time of Mampene Kufuado, Echo 2, Malam Bawumia, a free Bank of Ghana as a deputy governor. Now one year party member. Nana Wahinin too, the leading member of the movement for change. And Okasa, Wano and was signing Alaji Mahamadou Bawumia party card Emano when they were urged by Mampene Kufuado to waive that constitutional provision in order to allow him to to make Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia the running mate. I did about send no cow or the convince mpinimfo a issue no. Was this here? Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia or accomplished economist. A ban of money seeker somewhere wonimu pa. And until one penny that for I hear the governor, deputy governor of Bank of Ghana. And until I mean so who no my you say one by year me running mate. Now you know na ebe shan nsa manase shan nioma atoto nioma e de nioma atoto akwam sire be yo man sikasem ebe to yie na so mama me kwanya na me kofa nipa foforo a how bi ba kira o mo me sobo e ho na wo so party mpenimfo no no say hey e ba na economy dey yefunu ho asem na o ka no na say yefunu ho asem dey asabe e kom any party colors homa yenwen mienu na yema no kwana dey o ka no enye adwuma na mo ma ne kwan na o de Mahamudu Bawumia be na running mate. One ninkunim 2008, 2012, one ninkunim. But from 2012 about 2016, Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia lectures are organizing here, restoring the value of the city. Sabe na Sydney I'm saying, na ye 3.72. Mampina da Kufuado, Mampina Kufuado on Twitter page. Was say Ghana, baby here do your to city $1, 3.72. A bad leadership. We shouldn't have been here buying $1. 3 cedis, 72 pesos. And that dollar NM 16 Ghana cedis. What is that? Okodia ko compare. See Ghana cedi aye hata. Na wono koya Mahamudu or ya President Mahama ene emisa ata. Kadi obeka ne say. In fact, saben kwampo na emes na Mahama na tie kunwa so. Kadi obeka ne say oh, abusuafo me na me ka say metime bumai no. Adwuma mo de sha me nsa na mantimi aye. A bini se kenke na yeto kenke 1 cedi and the kenke nam 7 cedis 5 cedis. What does he say about it? Calipo non de standby our cycle and the Calipo and I'm saying company kwampo gu according to our former man Calipo dom ya no de omo kanu no. O besisa sidno masini mo ayeden. Ma dwadifo ekoto ekodwa omo sika omo dwatire etime gina ofanda dwadifo ina sika hye. Abosho kan for to me you 2 billion e de mama mpine ku for so far campaign 2016 to Mahama Bangu and Abosho kan egu. These are some of the things. Enti tema okeka sansam no na yeka enam 120 billion Ghana cedis and na yeka 700 billion Ghana cedis. Wa bobu sia mende o mine mem inflation, the worst inflation Mahama de ja omo adon mo kanu was 15.4 and the inflation enam 25%. Ekoya kodu 54 hyperinflation. 2016 President Mahama government no zero budgetary financing from the Bank of Ghana. More over 84 billion printed from Bank of Ghana. And then Omanisi kasem jina ifa. Ghana danya manfo. The big junk economy in Yeka. We cannot pay our debt. Or come in or mine. Go to state institutions everywhere they are. You understand that? As a matter of urgency, Obe set up a commission of inquiry to investigate all the looted lands of the Ghana people and return the lands back to them, including lands are by aje ya ne yemfa yehwe ne aje sasena gu ho a eni dwumadi bia ewo edema yenuanam kanfo no President Mahama so beje sasena ma mo biom enti enye me ho wa Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, he has run away from the economy. Wonka economy asem biom wonka okana wato ayampia ba ko afam. Oh, we have done better than the NDC. Better than anything. All the indicators according to IEA 3 days ago, almost the indicators as they stand now. Talk about the exchange rate, talk about the lending rate, talk about the national debt to GDP ratio, talk about inflation and all of that, talk about unemployment 2016, 8.4, and then 16%. John Bodu, former general secretary, said, and she share MPP by the go national. And check you back crank from an neighbor Ghana and then see Ghana Statistical Service. Now, so what they buy Ghanaian youth, it's 15 to 24 years, over 1 million. This is where we are today. And to offer, in the midst of all these challenges, what minimum, Otonwa yento, ye friswa yentua. Now, who you win me na? Near Koyi Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia say flag bearer. Now, found him. Near Siu Kumasano, it was the outdooring of the flag bearer. Number me running mate. Me the way be secret. MPP for to about a Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia as a running mate. wo mo nko bodwa e wo na yiri na lirigo and outdoor no amfa nche na yiri. It ended at the Blaster Square where they met. That was all. Okay. But Ndra, looking at the ground of Napo Kumasi, our coach before he went to stage, Asantimangra, Krobia, your body, your pajamu, Nana Tunufo say, Matison Crawford, so over Hantai, Naumwadi, Mantete Osa, Henambum, Sanana kind of poem for Yajuma. Okoja simply not to Mark Kwame Nkrumah. And no about controversy in town because he lied. Now, Arabia, Nippon when they before see end before his rule now. You show a bad driver MPP vehicle comfortably to opposition. Okay, they can organize themselves again in the next 100 years. The kind of phobia or Mama Sama. We don't fear this ticket, John and Jane, all the way.
Yo, Kingsley, Haruna Kingsley Amaleba of the National Democratic Congress now telling this time around Yinti Sabik Bugri of the New Patriotic Party. Mr. Bugri, performance of the government, Uti Napua, the speech, sharing praises of Nanado, Uti the Amaleba so candy, and Muni Hute. What do you make of that?
The Dikai. Miti say na Amalbeka say John ye ni ashe da twantro agunu so say what you say na just to paint him black the dikai enye MPP na ka say yenko investigate ana yenko hwehwe mu say the former president omo no mo ka Airbus hu sika no enye yen na ye ka say yenko ye erede hwehwe mu a president no G2 mu say wo ye me vice wonsa eka sa Airbus deals now omoye no nti yen check yen investigations nti MPP eka it was based on that na yen so that issue more pushing my say yen because we wanted to win power yen at that time it was their president the late Atta Mills may he so rest in peace ono na ka say I'm not giving one example. I'm just giving one example. No one push say yen na ka say John Ayese and I say John Ayese because of power. What do you say? Since you no cast state lands on asem. State in fact my confused because Obisa ne say you see NDC Musro Napo. Na nsema all the fofa ho kansem bebre Napo na asem na Obisa no kwa wan shedan kan wan asem na emwanwa because simple question. You see NDC Musro Napo. I Debbie. No what church mu. Na wagya no kra to baby na o kansem den sem bebre sebio me who really why he was driving and then just as usual NDC omu stock in trade just to give us a bad name ni niama o mine as you are no kra yem fasi say twini no nda ho a yem bon chen yen nyina nim say say the niama se ko no enya sa na nyina pe no oti ase niama mu ayedi nkakra enso chana ache na emui oti ase chana ache na emui and they say utie from Ministry of Finance the economy is gradually picking up enche biara yen nyina eti Ghana we will see the signs oti ase and we all know the reasons why we are here and this is say obina asheda adi aye abu oman ni say the be ya ho kire baba na obi esu na ayese akoyese na we si say na omu NDC di obeka no NDC di obeka no e die na obeka biom di obeka no ba omu asem a wo kan yen bisa ba omu asem ha nso enam say ye NDC modua mo say mo ye the system na president Kufo friend say president Nanado was so onu we you say ontimi mbu oman onu ankasa party ntokwa say nso still Nanado won. It's the same thing they are doing now. What do you say? The grassroots microphone now omo what down ho no ye go door to door in a friend say ye presidential candidate they understand. Oh, he's lying, he doesn't want to talk about the economy and that's not what the ordinary people are looking at. The ordinary people are looking at the truthfulness of presidential candidate and in niamo opeso or the eba. What do you say? Any agenda na opeso or sisa no making sure say Ghana no the next generation or going forward, no, things will be better for all of us. And you're gonna hanko na nyama di no. And you're gonna hanko. It's all over the world. Maybe ours will be too much. And I had any Bible so and I say bibisa. But you're gonna hanko. Odi ase. Ntino mu ka sama timi ka han weni can't say dear Ghana hana sebio dear kwasu. And this time before we came to God, it was like this. Net say ya. See ya na net ya mu free abemu. It was like this. Odi ase. And this say namu dia no better say dia na it was the same way. See ya na net ye. Ansa na ye take you over. And I make an ebia na dia no u compare omo dia na ye dia no mu odi ncha omo dia ne kakra. But it doesn't mean say obi na said abu oman no na obeye no said be ya obi a ho be chira na there be. So and I make and then utie from Ministry of Finance with the World Bank. Enche biara niemu besisa. Enche biara things will come down. Things will be better for Ghanaians to enjoy. And you know ADAKABRI the American no yeah bomodin. I'm making sure say your ticket the two doctors no they will bring a very better system of governance and a better way of managing.
Nanado Kaye na utie dear Dr. Muhammad Bawumia kana utie dear Napo Kaye noa. What do you make of it?
Oh, they are just giving almost here and crying. They are giving us hope that there's better days to come. And they are making a comparison of the days, the things that we have done in various sectors of the economy as compared to Amodiana taking over. No? And this was basically.
And Napo said Nanado is the best ever.
Yes. Do you doubt that? Do you doubt to say the Okananya Ukraina? Do you doubt that? Do you have a problem with that?
Nanado better than all
because of the performance. Mamika Semichiro. It's not just the economy alone that makes governance. And your economy nkwa. What you say? And your economy nkwa that makes the government. There are other sectors of the friends say on minor yebunu. Education is one of them. What you say? Intino sebio ya jetum say enenu sisianu niamama edin kakra. I'm fan say the day-to-day of a Ghanaian ne duane ne transportation in Niama, the basic conditions. Yes, yejitum that all is not well, but it doesn't mean say that's the end of BBR. Roads. No, hospitals. They be almost reach hospital and DN. We have agenda 111 enche biara Ghana will be able agenda 111 all the districts. Agenda 111 enche biara. In fact, some of that are almost completed. What you say roads? The number of kilometers are ye Ghana hano. Ye be comparisons. The more in it ye so ya no ye be hu. That means say no bika. Say Mahama 4 years waba we see reach hospital. Why way and I about 8 years. And the time is coming very soon. The time is come for us to make a comparison of the ye ne di omaye. What you say? Enteno say napo akase Nanado aya dear and Nanado the best president. It is believed or is premised on Nyama Yayano. What do I say? It's premised on Nyama Yayano and Americano and your economy. Nani Baba say, okay, and Nuntino, Yanyare. Your free SHS. In 10 years' time, people will get to know the effect of this free SHS. In 10 years' time, Nipa Bebrebo say, oh, the Nanado ya na man for say, a year for one and say, the Aswaba. After the Yashas what you say? And a year and kakra echo. Enche biara. Obia bedroom rebi ufa bebia. Nipa antimian school the SS dear. Nipa ne SS. What you say? And Americano, health, for instance. We are doing a lot there. A lot of new hospitals are being built and would be equipped before. Unlike before. What you say? Roads and so there are so many things that this government has done. It's just that economy
whoever suggests to say
railways
that comparison with Kwame Nkrumah and Nado no is an insult to
and no year political talk say we no political talk and no say be politics you just because of the hype and I say euphoria no and I say no political talk what you say and say I say obia condemning Napoleon. Yes, but and it's just political to be any. I mean, it's just a political.
But for that comment, nonka obi was some can fan ho.
Oh, na say Ghana dear. Oye nipa no enye den ye benya bibia afa aka no e de ne yente ye say oye arrogant wo mu ade e na ema otumfo kra e ka chance okay de me maso matini na me tofo say kwa tie o di ase na ma uni president munye adwuma the president incoming president munye adwuma o di ase I'm just saying that it is a human nature. The NDC of course would like to hype it, to give it a dog a bad name. So, omuka anyone, ebi na no kan say, obi say Dr. Baumia say, ya mfana ko na yiri ankwanya na outdooring there. Odi I say, but before no ye share that ko na yiri I was there to go and seek their blessing before we brought him to Accra. It doesn't mean that the outdooring should have been done there. This morning I heard another guy to also talking about it on Metro TV. Odi I say, it doesn't mean sir we didn't go there. We went to seek the permission and blessing of the Nairi Nabogu before we brought Dr. Baumia here to come and outdoor him. And I really, what is the point here? That because we want to your friends say outdoor Naponu ewo Kumasunu and no say how does that undo the MPP? How does that undo your friend saying Dr. Baumia? Mintia say I know so no is becoming a cup of tea for them. I say how be momu anabibi. Mintia say says NDC need the BBI baby anu a problem mom baby anu a problem mom. I don't get it. What do I say? I don't get it. But I'm saying say there's hope at the end of the tunnel. There's hope. Enche biara things will change. Until Ghanaians should have faith in us. Say Dr. Baumia and Dr. Efrain say Napo, the ticket that we are bringing is a winnable ticket. It's a ticket that's going to change things for the better. It's a ticket that's going to bring us a better deal in terms of how this country is going to run. Which I say, in terms of how deliverables are going to be made, in terms of how, I mean, Ghana is going to take a friend say, or people say, Nintuma, pa either Afra. The next generation in development in Yama. Yes, me ejitum say on my idea, the economy no bread and butter issues no there. It's not the best. But obia ni what said the case okay, ye be ye am obia hu achiro na bread and butter issues no ukoka na ase ye obi na said that she say Ghanaians no, it doesn't work like that. Right. You make half a no.
Yo. Ura the big buggery of the New Patriotic Party and what in no. Earlier on Haruna Kingsley a Maliba of the National Democratic Congress. But for now, Nana Yao Sapon of the Movement for Change. The gospel according to the Great Transformational Plan, the Yellow Gospel. Nanka more tauto. Said no, I said Ray, Nani, Napo. I demonstrated say, in fact, Nana do a chileno. Obi any hobium. And into one Dr. Mamad Baumia there. Omo Bashe, a rule almost sleeps. No more deliver to the satisfaction of Ghanaians. What can I say?
Offer with us. Na match with you for ne.
We no one the attempt.
O medical aba o fidie so. I say Mesro my elite pa. Na dwumadi bi me ko represent movement for change o dwumadi bi ase me say nche musumo be launch mo de we policy on political parties coverage munuanom na me ko piase na mama chisa na over enora Miracle. No miracle.
Adding.
Right, da. My son to send me here. Na enra.
Ya maneso.
Enra minya penini etchen yɛ nana ano wɔ fam ɔfa menim sɛ watie ɔpemsoɔ ne futuo a ɔde maa ne nana
so akasa kyerɛ ne dɛm
na wɔbɛka bi akyerɛ no wɔ abɔnten so na ɔfa yɛte panyin kasa asante kasa mu no ɛnka yɛtuufo wɔ dɛm koraa na yɛnsan bɛka no wɔ bɛdwam anaa mɛboa na mmom ɔpemsoɔ nim ne nana nti ɔka sɛ deɛ mɛka akyerɛ wɔ dɛm no meka kakra ma amanfo hu sɛ ɛyɛ no korɛ ɛtuufo na ɔtu nofo awie no wɔ se amanfoɔ nom se ɔno deɛ ɔtete deɛ nkurɔfoɔ ka wo yɛse woyɛ ahantan sɛ arrogance a ne ɛka no
na mede bɛsan wo ti de mu mama no nyɛ hɔ
mɛsan wo ti ɛfiri sɛ me na metetee wɔ wo nana ne me na mantete wɔ ahantan kwan so ɔfa ɔpemsoɔ ka saa asɛm no wieɛ no ɛni 2 hours ɛna ɔmo kɔɔ Jubilee Park
Wanu.
MPP foɔ
ɔmo kɔduru Jubilee Park a ɔmo ɛma me nua panyin kwan sɛ wɔn kasa na me blame no kɛse ɔfa me blame ɔmo handle no yɛwɔ nipa bi wɔ hɔ a ɛwɔ sɛ yɛde kasamu ɛhyɛ ne nsa a ɛwɔ sɛ mo script ne yɛka no ɛwɔ sɛ
Yɛtwerɛ agu krata so.
ne ɛwɔ sɛ ɔka ne yɛde ma no ɔfa ɔsɔ kasamu no a mehwɛ ne ne yɛ bi ɔda ne dia na meka wɔ office sɛ ei me nua yi bɛgu yɛ ne mu ase this was an opportunity for Dr. Napo to give Ghanaians a sense of hope. This was an opportunity for him to give the Ashanti region some sense of belonging, to endorse the attribute of unity which is within the Ashanti fraternity. But what did we see? What did we hear? Rather echoing the sense of divisiveness. And they say, Omonfa a bonini de emani peblum binom. Otimso Emaye who say ampa amonyokuni de enchichemuni mpa pebuyo. Ofa wonni mabakosem chen bebre. So wonni say CPP ni NLM. En sensem ni ntawantawa bi bae ntem. En ekofa UP e de bae anameboa. De bia dan yesi asante mamu de.
Avoidance of Discrimination Act no. And about say regional parties and have religious based parties in the United Party.
Bye.
If you holiday bia Kwame Nkrumah, you see any day I can remember you penasem. You see UP form penasem. Wafa President Kufuor penso. Ya pemso bia. Sepiu. Ya pemso mano ko ba se CPP for kra ya ma almost space e wo ya abemu papa kusindum obeye minister for reforms, trying to drum home that sense of unity. See nyina ye your mind back ye de boni ni die ma ye penimfo nyina na wo be kasa me de ha me se wo be kasa e bia ayira nanado ono nko ane ai ye friend say Mama penyini ana penso koma ma nya me na me be kire Ghana for na be kire. Of course, amam penyini na do ni ba omi apenso nko ana dollar it could do 15.37 pesos to a dollar. Oman pinyin na na do apen so nko a na ye wodum so a ye friend dum siesie. Anya me na me be kire. But then so we can say and compare the language and the content within which it was used. Mukwame nkomano. That was so demeaning. That was so mean. That was so insulting. Sebi utafuraji offer. You see what time could you no in America.
Mente ya also saying.
What time could we way in America?
Minse me no minyaka nti ape na mati. Nti se bubena na minti ni yie.
Yo mabu macha wase. O ye din na me mu kuro mu di anche.
Oh, me fritongo talents baby amubabu ye oba election.
A talents.
BT baba krom. Sata na there be wenu na bebu ye nyanwo. Sata na muka ye ho.
Oye kase.
Sata na muka ye ho.
Matias o de mame nkomanim.
Endi si bo bebu ye no.
Ofa. Say ye ka obia or share industrialization asia. Na or share say all what transformational mind. Who's independent. Untimi nka abakwasem yira kwame nkrumah mfi. Akosumbu dam. Temamoto we. NDC for so almost your my kwan na fufu so la di bia na e budget. O financing wa faso.
Gabi.
O faso ko.
Asa
Moto we da so. Omo ano mo kasa nri ya omo tutu ayampia mane Dr. Kwame Nkrumah MPP fu yi omo so ma ya kwan omo kwan omo ye no over the night wofa pa compare tema moto we ni ehwe na wutimi gina simpi so to be mane Dr. Kwame Nkrumah ebi na nura no kra no wofa ya nhwe yi kra na wan hwe anko bi so nko be kasa tia Omampenyin dada kufuo.
I am so baby oposo ya.
Pepe.
O e na muza na ko beka.
Oh, over. Nade. Nempo enya peja fie no free.
Ani papa wo fa na present kufuo.
Ofa. Mi bisemi bisa wo. Obetimi ayi wuyem. Onsuno. Egudi ahaban ahye. Nampuntiti went me and ya yakrana into Mampenyin dada kufuo apenso. Ni oyema Ghana. Yema menum kwa wo so kwa. Health insurance or the buy.
O ka bibia na.
Metro Mass or the buy into
no susu se o ka obeka.
Papa, me ba me take care mo mi ti wakasa ma be dura.
O de me pe clarification o ka bibi fa. Anaso ususen ka obeka. Okay.
Ofa. Nyoma yeru akufo be ye o mai. You know what I'm saying now? For 2024 elections, it will be issue-based. It will be an issue-based election. We'll be looking at credibility of the candidates. We will be looking at the integrity of the candidates. We will be looking at the whether or not corrupt nature of the person, the accountability of the person. The achievements, personal, political of the person. And then here big chance near the other. That's a funny pamian saying you medical you meti. Ira Lanjon Kuju Tremantin. Near for John Dramani Mahama. Near for Alaji. Near the Omotus near Niswa. Of a back credibility of a income. When your pan over, Wakumem, a basse only acquire credible. Say Uncle Casanco Casse, now grown a midi. Say Uncle Embe Canchra will say. Dollar no de mum say cost road de name should be intra and no de name intra. of a credibility. So bekasama ya jinedi. Of a say nipa miensen ye di omoto snie ni so the accountability of those individuals. No be a mampenyi dada wetwemu or ye minister of state or ye MP or be ye mampenyi abedi echire e be ye mampenyi Alhaji no Bank of Ghana or be ye mampenyi bedi echire or praise or be ye mampenyi sesi ayekase ona ye the head of the economic management team and no so the oka esigina offer oka in all confidence and all authority say won kasada emma o mampenyini a woteso nanado entwi na no wo fom nanado na nkasa wo se de Alhaji beken bia ojitu oye inti nnura ansem bi ombeka se ena enyo no na grastia no ena okasa ye mfanye adwuma ni nyina no ofa nnura yera nanado danko akufado ma ehunu se eye atoro eye mfuturu bi no muhu egu Ghana fo ani so nti so wa de pepe bi de mayen Ghana fo sisia
nimreni
wofa
na dia na movement wo
move ofa wo busa asem ofa se wonim se NDC fo ntimi from manifesto mai so wonim se MPP for Alhaji led by Alhaji so Omati nipa 319 as manifesto committee. Omo nipa 100 and also ma list you for proofreading and review.
It is a 419.
419. Besi no muntimi mfa manifesto no ma bontin. But niye ye krani the great transformational plan offer. Great transformational plan no aye the new blueprint for Ghana's transformation agenda. Offer Alan Kojo Tremantin is seeking to transform Ghana into an enterprise economy where you best supporting entrepreneurship, innovation, technology. Where offer you bet to your bonia tnase ni ashisha nyoma ni amap Ghana apija afanentuma pefra. Of our great transformational plan, you want your main siani woman into 6 clusters. You share the economy, of a share governance. What you say? You share behavioral and mindset change. Of a share the natural resources, science, and innovation. Over we have divided the Great Transformational Plan GTP into 6 clusters with practical policy recommendations. They achieve both in short and in long term. It is a fact, see you can't about stability of the seed as a currency. You have practical solutions. You share agricultural revolution na yepese ye emebunu ene mabawa ne nketesi a agigana omodoso wo Ghana ha omunye adwuma nye na yebema kuayo ayo mofe ayo makono so mo beye for san hihye no so ewo say yebe expand the agro parks transforming plantations into agro parks na yetimi ado with value addition. Of a year share, see a share, ye renew energy sector. No, na say ye doom so, say ye doom see seal, say ye to fafro seal of a sad DNA MBM. In this age and time, na utimi wofi. Na yesi ukani aidu na obeka achire Ghana fo wo so pa Ghana fo achewo ni edi chewo ni ekoye ni mu a wo se wa pensu de nkani anu na mere bi etwemu na nsin ya de ni efemu na yede Can you do money? Offer baby, I gina see. Say Ghana ha. Oko epuye ko etifi. Kwa nafo. Every corner of this nation. Penyini bi awo maimu. Kwarabi awo maimu. Esu. Etwa adu say baby a Ghana edri. Ye hear a government of national unity. Abanya obekan yi nyina bom. Now pe obi obetimi aka Ghana nyina bom a oyi yero alanjon koju tremantia. Hwan ya bi na obeya no. Ono nko gina simpie su nko kase. Obi yesi ngwa me nkroma o. Debi.
Okay.
Opeji sasim we dia. Hwe hawa within the shortest possible time. Otimi dinipa bomu e forming ye friend Alliance for Revolutionary Change. Of alliance in Benifu ya twa won hia. PNC for CPP for your friend is saying
NDC
wom MPP for a wom GCPP for across all political divide. Wom oni fe omoko omoba omudi nkomo edi nhihye pa eto akwa ye de aye bi pen ye de nipa bomu aye ko yenim ebi mu dia egusu a omu e kire kwan ya ebefa so ye be papa nipem se ye pese Ghana colony ye pese Ghana fan ntum
Okay.
na ye free ti bia ye wom sisi dia ofa otaroma ni Ghana for ye san yero lanchamantin ho a menyi ni se benyo bia
Amaliba so mremu bia.
David, my visa na semasa. My visa because I can't say more for you. Visa na sem.
But it'll be your turn. The time has been allocated, so don't worry, it will be your turn.
Go ahead.
Mani musa na some chroma minti.
Oh, do so asem na no kan. And I say no more policy na kan. Say dum CSU or more practical solutions. Ye di kan. Ye dum so na anase dum siesie na ne ka chom se enye dum so na dum siesie u dum atimi siesie baabi ama kanea no agina yie a omo so omo nte ase no se omo ba omo solution one of the reasons and now the entire and I say one of nya the entire but one of the reasons was enye se kanea no na ni but sikakura nke de beto e friend saying oil niema and do those maintenance niema.
You better we explain it say dum so ni dim CSE no.
They differ.
There was
they differ.
Okay.
They differ.
Right.
But when you say kanya na ni ho e wo ho but you needed to do some maintenance which is dum CSE. Me person me bisa ni say omo practicals den you should tell us in concrete terms. So I say practical solution. Den.
We are looking first of all we are looking at enhancing the infrastructure of power generation.
How? Because sikasem sikanu mo ba enchese because mumu aba no led by honorable Alan Kojo Chairmantino sikanu baba beda ho and every free baby aba. It's part of it.
Ujitum say iskasem.
Oh yes, na say no de Ghana enyina ni tueta.
Ghana.
Yeniska. I know there is a fact.
Ujitum say Ghana time wa mo ka kire yen say yetisika so comedy na mo boa.
There be enye ne sa. See ya bo man na bedru baby.
Yedi Ghana sikasem e share large ba omiansa no. Wa say na ma yenya sika kura emfa nye
bibi to say free SS.
Ma amaleba
oh there be say sikasem.
Amaleba na edu.
Anti sasa kan bi ni
amaleba na.
Wa say Ghana sikasem.
Ofa.
Amaleba.
Ofa unim. Utie ne omomi unu kan ya. It points out to one thing. Say yintime gamble the future of Ghana to an unknown hands. Because aye bida wa yemfa dachi be yi enkwahwe. My brother Ajima is talking about the name, right? My brother Odino. Would you who dia sapon? Would you who dia bodi? Was say about the energy generation now? They are looking at expanding the infrastructure, enhancing the infrastructure. Good. Say about energy infrastructure enhancement and the practical solution, and of course sustained solution that will give us a long-term energy security. We had it under Mahama. Mo kan ho bi na mo bo n'echi. Eyi Mahama furu na mo kofa Alhaji Mahamadu Bawumia ene na do dan kwaku fo do be di ade. E de mo dwane agya omo ho abetena fidi echi ebo mo echi. See here, is it betrayal? And you are ventilating your frustrations to the public in order to court a sympathy. Mo betena fidi so na mo sell mo ideas, you can go ahead and do it. But some more you comparison, I don't bring President Mahama in. Someone pushing a that line now, we will be attempted to respond in a certain way. I respect Honorable Ankojo Chemate. I respect him so well. I respect him like I respect President Mahama and the leadership of my party. I respect the ideas. My request is in the green book or there's in the yellow book. Maybe that mankind, because I would like to know more about what he also have to offer. However, baby Edri, we need experienced person to reset the country back again. And yet, there's a difference of being a minister of state. There's a difference of being a deputy minister of state, being the vice president and running a country. Sitting behind the controls whereby the development of a national jet soaring into orbit. Now piloting to the storm of the skies. Now one landing is safely with the people in there. And you do that form. Two sharp President Mahama. Man salute. Sabi ga usudai. Eba so. One president of Mampene Kufuor Tekunwa so. You hu the Al Jazeera eye fa no ho. The gold mafia scandal. Movie say jai. You wait. You guys will lose the elections. And President Mahama have said the notice. The day of accountability will come. He will hold you accountable to all the illegalities you guys have committed against the people of Ghana. President Mahama is to have availed himself. If you have something concrete, I will help. Now you be able to meet President Mahama red-handed say the man have done one or two things against the interests of Ghana and therefore you're corrupt. Now mu here ni pamoja I dey assign Mahama tia me de me kwa betwa so. It's a promise I am making to you and the public who are listening to us. See offer because of politics they be say nipadi. But no matter what, President Mahama remain quickly clean. That is why Ghanaians have bought the ideas and have resolved some mess up to Obama the bill.
Ideas
good. Number one, Wafa. The major problem is suffocating on my way, particularly the business community, air taxes, obnoxious taxes, including COVID-19 levy. And we are way on my bay panel a tax in a man for on COVID. On my bay. Most COVID time will show free. Much nkani free. Yebusa no say, are you after 2020 elections, you know, almost already budget, almost say a hole was created, 19 billion Ghana cedis. And Ghana phone tuya car. And tuya 20 from Kosovo Sakana. You tuya 20 from 2021, ABC Sabri. 3 years, COVID levy. Meanwhile, Munya over 32 billion Ghana cedis during the COVID. Sikana the day. Then Finance Minister Keno Furiata, so more than 12 billion and more than solve COVID. There can I call him for most budget support. What is budget support? Ebio, more than the flat rate. Say auto nkatia crowd or the say supermarket it covers it. And which is that COVID and if you are levy and for sure you levy on Ghana. Huh? Me try madam Fubia, you know, me send sika man. Me try levy. Me try almost 600 Ghana cedis. Or say 6 cedis as levy. And you say these are obnoxious taxes. Mo bet tax mo dia ba mabulu mo ma mo djuma ye. Yeah, mo try bet 2 cedis 5 cedis. And they check how far. Mo sa tax no. President Mahama so ba this category of 3 taxes no be in every war, including others, which I don't have the permission to mention them because and same way why as fato hiniano on one kasabeka. But these 3 taxes no there. I can say it here on authority say President Mahama so about obey that taxes everywhere. Go to Taba Port. Now because of that tax no a tour or they say importers atria or President Mahama said he will stabilize the city. How is he going to stabilize that? You see, how do we get counter inflows into the country? Number one,
Talk is cheap.
talk is cheap. Yes, a bit cheap to talk becomes cheap. When we say your oil or the same, your oil or the same exploration or the same production are declining by 32% over the last 7 years now because of inherent corruption and malfeasance and family takeover of the oil sector. Is it Vitor ENI Debe judgment?
So that was family takeover.
Family takeover. In fact, African Watch did an extensive report on it. I have a copy. I will make it available to you if you want to read it. I'll make it available to you.
Final comment.
Oh, the final comment is baby, we cannot gamble anymore. If MPP are bold enough, they should meet the press. Laji Mahamadou Bawumia, the chairman of the economic management team, on meeting the press. Now subjecting the whole to the public scrutiny to you, the media. No justify the whole before he can come out and start on any platform and ask Ghanaians to vote for him. Okay. As for Napo running down Kwame Nkrumah legacy, he's hurting himself and he's setting the MPP on the international stage. And say they're intolerant and disrespectful people who doesn't pay homage to Nestor Matthias, like Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and his compatriot. Right. Very shameful.
Speak. Also final comment.
Okay, the Obeka no. The Obeka no. And is the Obeka no. Say yeni wa buy mo. Yeni kucha platform. And to say your former friend say one of Honorable Alan Chamanti, he's one of our founding members of our party. Unfortunately, I won't a hardjeni near Pisen Kabank and Momo. And so still I know Mudin Como, so Momo no Mumway. What I say? One any entity who will always be at the attacking end. But the Obeka Biara is the Ghanaians who are going to determine. Exactly. What I say? Anthony, the person Yebe Koswa Ye Jumapa, Abwa Ghana, Ama Wafan and Tuma Afra. That's what we are going to do. Condemnation or condemn me, a friend said Napo said, dear, no, Napo, it was just a political talk. What do I say? Well, yeah, say what bus stage soon I be a walker a year, but I don't mean say President, a friend say, Honorable Napo will just get upset to denigrate a friend saying, Kwame, where just political talk. And no, Enkwasiaga, and only attempt encourage be a just that in politics and that's what your platform BBA teams. Yaka say Omu General Secretary is in court against Ajimandua, former friends Auditor General. What did this studio mono better say? Papa no, I have fraudulent DNA Papa in the court. Court to see her. Now it's in the papers. They are dragging him. But he said it in the studio. Ebinye, until no way is just a political talk and yeah, na poashe de kase o di Dr. Kwam so bia ni de Dr. Kwam kwan yemae e wo Ghana until no anu there. But of course na kokuba kwan kan you don't give missiles to the neutrals and your opponent to attack you. But yes, it was for I know it's a slippery tank. That's what I can say.
Right. Nana Yansapon of the movement of change. Our final comment.
With the mystery. Amaliba can
ombeti.
Percent we're putting into perspective. Se eba nipa miensa eye Yura Alan JDM any Alaji international experience as people offer at the age of 24 Yura Alan not a general manager USC. Nimpeni mfie so. Okoye adwuma wo AU. UN for the man say adwuma no. Of adwuma okoye no AU ensunsun sanso. The achievement of it and the African Continental Free Trader. Yera Nanado apenso was a pound no so on be trade minister. Okofa ho headquarters e dey be seen cry. Empretech. You can't enterprise Ghana observe building. Empretech. On one year. Now, Oshe business owners and entrepreneurs are protect it me produce here. Of a yet adequate one. Offer Yera Allen as ambassador to US and Okofa Aguabai. Yera Allen as Minister for Trade and Industry and Presidential Special Initiatives. And then the Ayensu Starch Factory buyer Nanwa Dobetina Hanoka Huasemua say need fufu. Krano Mukoto starch if you oba see na a papa senior na udifra buchimemu a be need fufu Ghana. Offer a bad experience both in governance and in policy making. I do not think any of the three, in as much as they have all been in the executive position and he has been in a ministerial position, they are more experienced than him. With his thinking and with his policies, and the automobile development policy buyer, 5 giant automobile industries who we are see, or your Ghana ha or more assemble cars. Through his transformational vision as a leader, and I want the one for the buyer. You ran another side sharing in same after 2 years. The year wonders I work more than 160 factories at various stages to his credit. But what experience are we talking about here when you have a man with all of these achievements? Media Mestre. The day you're not also. 2024 elections will be issue based. Yeah, the great transformational plan about 12 months. Yeah, the moon church muaba.
Okay.
Among form of the emra. Na Ghana fu nyina emfa.
All right.
Ni enkin kan, ni emubo mu, ni emusa munsa. Na dede ya ono de ebekoswa akoso. The Ghana fu hia a leader, a Christ-like leader with a vision of transformation. I'll beat me up Ghana.
Okay. Young Fassida, Emma Uranana Ya Sapon of the Movement for Change. Earlier on, I said that's what I call Eddie Emma Urasabek Bugri of the New Patriotic Party. Now, I said I call Eddie Emma Haruna Kingsley Amaliba of the National Democratic Congress. And Penfoya do almost say or by a baby boy, it may enrich a discussions. No, Fabri will say, Yabame Musu, Yame Musuna, Abram Way, and on the DJ Foreigner, one more eba na Oma Baby Duma. Yabami ADAKABRI Mamudu, Osioma, Yegovie, Jojo.